Ball game between the Ottawa Rough Riders and the British Columbia Lions.
The CFL on CTV is brought to you by Labatt's, brewers of Labatt's 50 and Labatt's Blue. And by Canadian Pacific, owned by Canadians, working for Canadians.
John Labatt's new extra stock, a premium quality brew commemorating our 150th anniversary. Extra flavor, extra smoothness, extra taste satisfaction. It's mellow to the taste and smooth going down. John Labatt's new extra stock. Something extra for our friends from Labatt's.
Peter Young with Frank Rigney at Empire Stadium in Vancouver. And at this point, we'd like to welcome our Eastern viewers to this telecast of the CFL on CTV. And Frank, we've already told the Western viewers some of the people that will be instrumental in this ball game. And I think it bears repeating the quarterbacks of those Rough Riders who just had that outstanding season.
Well, just incredible because they're really interchangeable. You know, they both have the ability to run with the football as well as throw it. Of course, we're referring to number 2, Tom Clements, and number 7, Conrad Holloway. As we mentioned, they have completed almost 2/3 of their passes between them. They've thrown for 26 touchdowns, but I think the most interesting stat and probably the most key stat from the Ottawa Rough Rider offensive point of view is they've only given up 9 interceptions between them all year long.
Amazing, too. They have 26 touchdown passes thrown between them, 15 for Clements, 11 for Holloway, and they've passed for an equal number of yards, which is very coincidental, 1,545, exactly the same. And, you know, on the other hand, the Ottawa Rough Riders, when you think about it, and you were probably in this position in your career at times, they've already clinched first place. How do they get up for it?
Well, we were fortunate enough, Peter, when I was playing with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers to lock up first place for 2 or 3 ball games. And I don't think it's a matter of getting up for it. You're not going to have the same emotional high as if they were playing for first place or playing for a playoff spot or something. But you certainly have to play as hard a football as you can mentally prepare yourself for. You're going to get hurt out there. I think one thing it does do for this ball game tonight is we're going to have a very wide open type of football game. We have 2 great offensive units anyway. The BC Lions are number 1 in the country when you combine their rushing and passing stats, are number 2 in each department, but put together they're number 1. And we know what Ottawa can do on offense, so I think it'll be a very wide open football game.
You know, we have a number of viewers in Hamilton will be very interested, and that'll be the Calgary Stampeders who are sitting back wondering because BC still mathematically has a chance.
Well, of course, mathematically is just about it. I don't give them much hope for the playoffs in the Western Conference. They have to win all 3 ball games starting tonight against the Riders. The Calgary Stampeders have to lose all 3 of theirs for the Lions to get in the Western Conference 3rd spot.
They're going to rest some people today, at least initially at the start of the game. Doug McGee will start at center in place of Don Smith. He'll wear number 58. And 51, Ray Honey, a former Winnipeg Blue Bomber, will start at left tackle, replacing Jeff Turcotte. And you know, at halftime today, All-Pro Countdown, we have a dandy because today it will be the quarterbacks and the receivers as they match their skills against the defensive halfbacks. And Frank, I know you were at the series, and that has to be one of the real exciting ones because it's one-on-one and try to beat your man.
Well, of course, Richard Holmes and Mike Murphy were the 2 offensive backs for the Eastern Conference in that, so you'll see a lot of action from those 2 fellas tonight.
As well, you'll see plenty of action on halftime highlights. And Frank, once again, you'll be there with the telestrator, and you'll have all the circles on the offensive linemen telling who's holding and stuff like that.
Well, we'll try to do that. And we're also going to talk. We talked about one fellow on the BC Lions that we're going to try to point out on the telestrator tonight. He just had an outstanding year for them coming from the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and that's Sam Britz. Of course, he came to the BC Lions when the Argos sent Ray Nettles to the Ticats. And Brits has led the team in tackles, and Frank Oliver has done a super job for them at the defensive back spot. You're looking at Sam Brits right now, and of course, their coaching staff here was with Edmonton, and Brits was there at the same time, so they knew a lot about Sam Brits and wanted him very badly.
All right, we'll be back with the play-by-play of the football game in just a couple of minutes. First of all, let's go down to the field level and the playing of our national anthem.
This is the CFL on CTV. We'll return for the opening kickoff in just a moment.
Here they decide the fate of the world. Then they can hear it on Mr. Thin, Panasonic's smallest FM AM digital clock radio.
Today, Ambassador Smith defeated Ambassador Krinsky in a debate.
Hey, Krinsky.
And for those whose favorite station is halfway around the world, Panasonic makes command series shortwave radios with electronic digital tuning.
Today, Comrade Krinsky defeated Ambassador Smith.
Hey, Smith! Hey, Krinsky! How about lunch? Swell.
Panasonic radios lets you see the world through your ears.
Well, that's not Lou Pasaglia teeing the ball up. That was Miss PNE getting ready for the ceremonial kickoff. Pasaglia, however, will be the official. That's not bad style, actually, Frank.
She maybe kicks it pretty good, but I don't think quite as good as Lou.
Lou will tee it up, of course, at the 45-yard line, and back deep for the Ottawa Rough Riders to receive will be number 28, Holmes, along with number 30, Green. Make that 20, Art Green. So far this season, Green's been very consistent running them back. He goes back and will take it and bobbles it at the goal line. Art Green breaks up the middle, and he's down at the 23-yard line, and from that point, the Ottawa Rough Riders will scrimmage. A 64-yard kick, 22-yard return, and there really is no win to consider in this ball game. The offensive unit of the Ottawa Rough Riders: Avery is the wide receiver, the left tackle Honey, Charlie Brandon at guard, Doug McGee at center, Pomerico at right guard, Jim Coode at right tackle, Tony Gabriel, number 77, the outstanding tight end, Murphy, Green, Clements directing the attack. That was Mike Murphy in motion. Tommy Clements wants to throw, has Jeff Avery, and he's across the 30-yard line.
You know, when you give those lineups, it's rather difficult, Peter, because that time Tony Gabriel came in the slot back position, broke out to the outside, and Avery came in underneath them. Just a combination pattern by the outside and inside receivers of the Ottawa Rough Riders, and a fine throw by Tom Clements. Doug Seymour and Louis Richardson are the defensive ends for the Lions. Rick Goltz and Frank Landy inside at tackle. It will be a first down, and the ball is now up at the 34-yard line. Tom Clements is starting at quarterback. Gabriel splits out wide again. Clements hands off up the middle to Holmes. He gets to the 40. It'll be a gain of about 6. I'll tell you, they're doing a big job on Frank Landy here. Watch him double team him. It's Frank Pomerico, the right offensive guard, along with McGee, who started at center, and they just wipe out Mr. Landy. They knock him back about 7 or 8 yards on this play. Landy's, of course, number 78. But if the offensive unit of that Ottawa Rough Riders is going to come off the ball like that, they're going to be very successful.
2nd and 4. The Lions in a 3-man defensive line with the nose guard, Landy. Clements wants to screen it out, does so to Murphy. And he'll have the first down across the 45 to about the 48-yard line. Joe Queen, number 14, stops him.
As you take a look at this from the end zone, you'll see Louis Richardson, number 77, try to get out there and pick up Murphy on this screen, but Clements does an excellent job of just lofting it over the big defensive end's head. Richardson, 6'5", 250 pounds, played it pretty well, but he didn't get any help from his linebackers.
Another first down for the Ottawa Rough Riders. Lions stay in the 3-man defensive line with 4 linebackers. That was Murphy in motion. Clements throws, and that's complete to Green, number 20. Grady Cavness pushes him out of bounds, but another Ottawa first down.
I'd say it's very difficult, Peter, to get any sort of rush against the quarterbacks that scramble out like this. Watch Charlie Brandon, the left offensive guard, come out here and lead his quarterback to the outside. Brandon doesn't even have anybody to pick up. I think Clements could have taken off and run this ball for 15 or 20 yards. They've got to get pressure from those defensive ends, and if they can't do that, they're going to have to start bringing the linebackers on the side that the quarterback rolls out to.
Ray Honey and Doug McGee, as we mentioned earlier, are starting in that offensive line for Ottawa tonight, usually in backup roles, and so far they're doing a very good job. Clements wants to throw again. That one is to Avery, and that'll be good for another Ottawa first down.
Well, thanks to Freddie Fleming, our ISO director. We've got a little shot of Avery going down, just a quick little curl-in pattern. Wide open as Clements completes 3 in a row to start this ball game off, and the Ottawa Rough Riders are driving down the field. A most impressive offensive drive.
On first down, Clements straight drop back, fires over the middle, intending it for Gabriel. There was contact down there. However, no flags dropped.
Kenny Hinton, number 18, the right corner on that side, was providing the coverage against Tony Gabriel. The ball was a little high. The first incompletion by Clements in this ball game, so it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Riders. We're just into the first quarter. There is no score. Number 18, the right corner on that side, was providing the coverage against Tony Gabriel. The ball was a little high. The first incompletion by Clements in this ball game, so it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Riders. We're just into the first quarter. There is no score.
The Rough Riders really marching the ball down the field. 4 first downs already for Tom Clements in that offensive unit. Mike Murphy's in motion. The slight roll right, Clements zips one to the sideline. Right, Green stays in bounds. Very nice move. Devin Ford, number 16, affording the coverage. A 20-yard pickup.
Tell you, we see the same kind of action this time again. Stop it right there. You'll see Pomerico, number 56, going to the outside, providing that protection for Tom Clements, and he knocks down Louis Richardson. They're getting an awful lot of time to throw the ball. Clements does it very, very well on the move.
And on the move is what the Ottawa Rough Riders are right now. Ball is just inside the 15. And they have just taken the ball and marched all the way down the field. Clements has pressure, and he fires it through the fingers of 28, Richard Holmes.
I'll tell you, Peter, I've talked about the pressure that they've got to put on Tom Clements, and they finally do so. This time, Glenn Jackson from the outside. They're not getting the rush from the front 4, so they have to bring a linebacker, number 37, and he's the one to put the pressure on Tom Clements. Ball should have been caught by Richard Holmes. However, we have a penalty against the BC Lions. Create a first down for the Ottawa Rough Riders. Just about the 7-yard line. They've just taken this ball from the opening kickoff and driving it right down the BC Lions' throat.
All kinds of motion in that backfield. Little flip pass. Oh, you don't see that happen very often.
Well, that certainly should have been the 12th touchdown of the year for Tony Gabriel. Wide open, and Pete, you're absolutely right. Tony just does not drop the ball, and particularly when you get down to the fader area. It'll be 2nd and 7 now for the Riders.
Ball is placed at the 7-yard line. 2nd down, Ace backfield. Clements rolls left, gets pressure from Glenn Jackson, throws, and it's intercepted by Brady Cabinet right on the goal line.
I'll tell you, I didn't think Grady had these kind of hands. They're trying to hit Gabe again, the same kind of pattern, just running out to the flat, and Grady Cabinet makes an over-the-head catch. You expect Tony Gabriel to make that kind of catch, not Grady Cabinet. So the big Ottawa Rough Rider drive is finally snuffed out right at the goal line. The Lions will take over 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line. We're just 5 minutes into the ball game.
3rd interception of the season for Grady Cabinet. They moved the ball to the 10-yard line with the interception in the end zone. Jerry Taggy starts at quarterback, hands to Larry Key. He makes it back to the line of scrimmage, and not much more. Comes into the ball game with 856 yards. There is no score early in the first quarter, and the CFL on CTV continues in a moment. The new name in that BC offensive unit is number 71, Ricky Ellis, who lines up at tight end. He replaced Leon Bright a couple of weeks ago. Sharuk, the other wide receiver. Watkins, Leonard, Wilson, Blaine, and Simpson across the front line. Then it's Bailey, White, Taggy, Key, and Bright. The offensive unit of the British Columbia Lions, led by Jerry Taggy, 2nd down and 9. Taggy throws, and through the fingers of Ellis. Probably should have had it.
Ottawa Rough Riders doing a little dealing here defensively. Watch Panucci here, number 68, go behind Mike Raines, number 79. Panucci finally puts the pressure on Jerry Taggy. Does a good job because they set it up and cross against the right side of that BC Lion offensive unit.
So the first punt of the football game will come from Lou Pasaglia, and the Ottawa Rough Riders send back Art Green, Mike Nelms. They should get good field position, as you saw the punting percentage of Pasaglia, 47.4. Good kick. Drives Nelms back to the 45. He gets across midfield into the 52-yard line of the BC Lions.
Well, this is the time of the year, Pete. Of course, everybody's talking about stats constantly, and one of the stats that's rather important for Lou Pasaglia, the punter for the BC Lions, is he's got an opportunity to be the #1 in the country. He's only something like a yard behind Hank Olisic of the Edmonton Eskimos. Sure got a big one off there.
55-yarder, in fact, 13 on the return. First down for the Rough Riders. 8 minutes, 54 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Draw play to Mike Murphy, and he just puts his head down and barrels right over Sam Britz, who stops him. There's a flag on the field.
It's a good kind of call, I think, Peter, because Tom Clements and the Riders in that first drive where they marched all the way down the field, threw the ball 9 times, so they come back with the complement to the passing game, of course, the draw inside. A clip, however, against the Riders on that play, so Murphy's gain will be negated. They'll start over with a first down once again, but it'll be 1st and 20 for the Ottawa Rough Riders now.
First down and 25. Defensive tackle John Anderson, number 65 of the Ottawa Rough Riders, in his second year out of Dalhousie. Speaking of Canadian colleges, we'll try to get you up to date on some of the scores around the CIAU on this very
sounds like you
Saturday.
could make a fine country song out of that too.
There's those swing passes in that one. Another flag goes down. That one incomplete. Dangerously close to being a lateral.
Well, they've got a holding call against the Ottawa Rough Riders. You see Coach Vic Rapp on the sideline there walking down the BC Lion bench, and you saw him point back, so obviously he's telling his defensive captain Grady Cavness to take the penalty against the Riders.
Looks like a retreat out here right now.
They're going to have first and a whole bunch.
60, holding.
Number 60, Jim Cood, the big right offensive veteran tackle of the Ottawa Rough Riders, called for holding.
Yes. So now it will be 1st and 35 for the Ottawa Rough Riders, way back at their 34-yard line. They started off in BC territory. Fakes the draw, up over the middle. The screen. Duarte Green, Sam Pritz has him across the 40 at the 42. So he'll pick up 7.
Well, what a beautiful play that was. You saw the fake coming up there to Richard Holmes, number 28, coming up in this side, and then Green steps back, who's circled right there, number 20, and finally gets a football. Did a fake to Holmes, and then the screen inside to Hart Green, almost a double screen situation. A beautiful offensive play, but the BC Lions defended it quite well.
7 minutes, 30 seconds remaining first quarter, no score. Ottawa on second and very long, and Clements throws it long. Hits Avery right on the numbers, and that should be 6. Touchdown. 68 yards, Jeff Avery.
Well, I think that's Devin Ford, number 16, who goes up trying to knock the football down. It's just such a perfectly thrown football by Tom Clements. It's a 6-pointer. You see Clements getting hit just after he released the football. There's Ford, number 16, going up, trying to knock the ball away from Avery. I'm not sure whether the man that was responsible for that score was Ford or Joe Forqueen, number 14. Very difficult to tell, but there's the man that threw it, number 2, Tommy Clements.
For Clements, his 16th touchdown pass of the season, and the 3rd to Jeff Avery over the year. The point is automatic, and the score is the Ottawa Rough Riders 7, the BC Lions no score. The CFL on CTV continues in a moment.
Some people know where to get what they're after.
People just like you.
Some people go where there's challenge and laughter.
Friends to share it too.
Travel and change, seeing where it happens.
Taking a hold of the top and with bold and then seeing it through like they do. People just like you.
The Canadian Armed Forces ask us about you. Look in the yellow pages under recruiting or contact your nearest Canada Manpower Center.
Jeff Avery's 3rd touchdown of the season has given the Ottawa Rough Riders a 7-0 lead. On the left of the screen is John Henry White, number 20. On the right, number 11, Larry Key. They will accept the kick from that man, J.T. Hay, the youngster who is nominated as the outstanding rookie on the Ottawa Rough Riders. They try the short kick. It's coming towards the Ottawa bench and out of bounds. Now here's a case where BC will naturally accept the ball at that position rather than have them kick again.
Well, as you might expect down at the Ottawa bench, a fairly loose group of athletes. They're happy with that Avery touchdown. They're just trying to post the first win against BC in a long, long time. And I'm wondering if perhaps in my conversation with Tony Gabriel at the top of the show, I might have jinxed Gabriel because he dropped that perfect pass and still needs one to keep that string alive.
Well, Al, it's a long way to go. 7-12 left in the first quarter. Jerry Taggy throws to John Henry White, number 20, and White is out of bounds at the Ottawa bench. And that will be good for about 8 yards.
It wasn't a classically beautiful throw by Jerry Taggy, but White was so far open as he came out of that backfield. Taggy looks like he has a little problem gripping that ball or something when he let it go. It went almost end over end. The Lions will have 2nd and 1. They have yet to pick up a first down in this ball game. The Ottawa Rough Riders have picked up 7.
It's 2nd down and a long yard for the BC Lions. Pitch out. Larry Key jumps over, blocked, and gets the first down into the 43-yard line.
I'll tell you, one of the fellows I've been trying to watch is Mike Widger, number 34. He's playing only his 2nd ball game at that middle linebacker spot for the Ottawa Rough Riders since he's been in high school. He does a pretty good job of avoiding the interference and getting over and getting a piece of Larry Key here. He's, of course, number 34. He's replacing Tim Berryman, who was in that spot and did a great job for Ottawa before he got hurt.
First down for the BC Lions, who trail 7-0 midway through the first quarter. Good fake by Taggy over the middle as Ricky Ellis up around the 35-yard line. He's thrown back by Brad Carr, 42. They mark it at about the 36.5-yard line, however. And that will be well short of the first down. 2nd down and 3. Ricky Ellis was found in a free agent camp that the Lions held in California in the offseason.
I think he had a small pit stop with the Seattle Seahawks as well, Peter, before he wound up here in BC.
Taggy gets something on that pass. It's to Ellis, and they rule it complete.
Well, Larry Brown, number 21, is really upset. He didn't think that the ball was controlled by Ellis, but it is going to be a completion. No,
now they've changed their mind.
Overruled. Let's take a look at it. Ellis, of course, number 71, looking for his 2nd consecutive reception. He certainly had it initially, and it was jarred loose, as I mentioned, by Larry Brown, number 21. It is incomplete.
Well, that angle shows that he catches the ball, but he doesn't maintain possession long enough. Mike Nelms drops back as the single safety, with Lou Pasaglia, in all likelihood, about to attempt a field goal.
They may fake this, Pete. He's done it very effectively.
Flag is down. The kick is wide. Nelms concedes a single point, but we'll have to wait and see what the flag's all about.
My prediction didn't work out to be true with Lou Pasaglia, but I wouldn't be surprised sometime in this ball game if they do try a fake when they have pretty good field position. I think the penalty is against the Riders, so it's going to allow the Lions to retain possession as their offensive unit comes back out.
Bud Ulrich is the referee.
73. 7-3, Ottawa, offside. First down. First.
Piaskowski was offside.
Veteran Jim Piaskowski comes over to talk to Bud Ulrich now also. So that wasn't offside.
Number 74, the big rookie, John Blake, has come into the ball game now at tight end. Usually that's a running situation.
Pretty good tip-off. Jerry Taggy on the season, 212 completions. That's Larry Key on the draw. And he gets up close to the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6.
Maybe the Ottawa Rough Riders are listening to us, Pete. The tip-off that they could be running the football when the big fella, John Blake, comes in there.
He goes out now, and Ricky Ellis, number 71, comes in. Larry Key came into the ball game, as you can see, 144 yards, short of a 1,000-yard season in his rookie year.
Got a pretty good shot at it, too, with 3 ball games remaining.
Taggy wants to throw. Gets pressure from the backside, lofts it up for Bailey, and he couldn't catch it. Peter Stennerson, number 23, was step for step.
Well, Stennerson had him on man-to-man coverage because the Ottawa Rough Riders come with a blitz. Their linebackers coming in there trying to put the pressure against Jerry Taggy. See the offensive unit. If we stop it right there, you'll see Wilson just right there, number 52, the offensive center, picking up one of those linebackers. Panucci finally puts a bit of pressure on Taggy. Good coverage by Peter Stennerson, number 23.
3rd down and 5. Bisaglia in the ball game once again. And they'll place that 1-inch kicking tee. As you can see, Jerry Taggy putting it down. Bisaglia, excellent field goal kicking this season, 26-31. There's the fake Frank talked about. Over the middle, all alone. And down to the 4-yard line is John Henry White.
Oh, why not? I like it. Good offensive football. Why not take a shot? They've got to have the win. Taggy, of course, the holder there. Luke Bisaglia, one of the receivers, but John Henry White is so open right down the middle that Taggy finds him all the way down to the 3-yard line.
He has to make quite a catch, too.
Take a look at it again. You'll see Bisaglia, number 5, going to the left side, but Jerry sees White wide open, and he does make a good catch.
22 yards was the pickup. The Lions in scoring position. Ball is at the 4, I formation. Hand off the key. He's in. 9th touchdown of the year.
Well, Larry Watkins and Glenn Leonard, the left tackle and guard, blow the Riders back into the goal line. They ran over John Anderson, number 65, for the first Lions score of this ball game.
That narrows the score to 7-6. Bisaglia, who hasn't missed on a convert attempt this season. Is successful again. That will tie the score with 2 minutes and 57 seconds remaining. The Ottawa Rough Riders 7, the BC Lions 7. The CFL on CTV continues in a moment.
Music is the universal language, the expression of our joy and sorrow. Recapturing it in all its beauty and fidelity has been the goal of centuries. Techniques does it with superb high-fidelity equipment, the culmination of the state-of-the-art. Techniques by Panasonic.
A 56-yard scoring march for Vic Rapp's BC Lions. A 4-yard touchdown by Larry Key. The kick is to Art Green. Green has an opening and gets out to the 37-yard line before Devin Ford, number 16, puts a stop to that excellent kick return of 32 yards.
And we have a very exciting offensive football game going here. 7-7, 3 minutes left in the first quarter. The Lions have yet to stop the Ottawa Rough Riders. After the Riders scored with the strike from Clemens to Avery, they tried a short kickoff and gave the Lions excellent field position. They went in to tie it up.
Doug McGee stays in at center. Clements hands off. Holmes, number 28, bowls his way, dragging Glenn Jackson to the 41-yard line for a gain of 3.5.
You know, one thing about it, Peter, it's a little less difficult, a little less tiring for the offensive line if you're throwing football. So I think you're going to see the Ottawa Rough Riders throw it consistently all night long, as much as they have in this first quarter. As you see Mike Raines, the big defensive tackle of the Riders, being attended to. It looks like just an equipment problem on the sideline.
Clemens is 7 out of 11 for 141 yards so far. 3-man defensive wall for the Lions. He really zips that one in, and there goes that consecutive streak as Tony Gabriel makes his first reception of the ball game. 89 games in a row. Watch number 77.
good change of pace move before he pulls up. Just a little hook pattern and a fine throw once again by Clements, who is hot tonight. We may not see Conrad's Holloway the way Clements is going.
54th reception of the year for Gabriel, who, as Frank Rigney mentioned, has now caught a pass in 89 straight games. 1st and 10. Fumble. And I think it rolled right back to Tom Clements, the quarterback.
Looked like to me Clements just tried to get out of the quarterback spot a little bit too quick there. He didn't have possession of the football. Might be a bit of a problem with the exchange because of Doug McGee replacing the veteran Don Smith at that offensive center spot, although obviously McGee has worked with these two outstanding quarterbacks of the Riders.
Coach George Brancato looks on from the sideline. 2nd down and 11 for the Rough Riders. Clements wants to throw, rolls left. Fires out, trying to hit Ross Clarkson, and that's incomplete. As the minute flag goes up here in the first quarter, the score is Ottawa 7, BC 7. Kenny Hinton, number 18.
Well, we've got both linebackers from either side coming in or trying to put the pressure on Clements. Jackson from his right, and then Girodi. Ross Clarkson, the former BC Lion, is overthrown that time by Clements. It'll be a punting situation for the Riders.
Ken Hinton and Devin Ford go deep to receive the punt. Good high kick. Not that deep. It'll be Ford, number 16. Looked like there was a man close, but no flag goes down as Ford slips down at about the 17-yard line. Art Green dangerously close to the 5-yard restraining zone right there.
Good block by Kenny Hinton. Allowed Ford to get a little room, but coverage comes in and puts him down. That's Holmes, number 28. Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line. Just 23 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and we have a tied football game.
Kunig's kick was high, but it wasn't very deep. 38 yards, -2 on the return.
He takes an awful lot of time to kick that ball, Pete. We're going to look at that a little later in the ball game.
That's Larry Key, and he will struggle to get up close to the 24-yard line. Mike Widger, 34, stops him there. Well, we have a second, Frank. We'd like to say hello to somebody who I'm sure is watching in Winnipeg, just out of hospital, recuperating from surgery, Dr. Kenny Nielsen. I know what a great receiver he was in his playing days.
And what a fine guy he is, too.
And my dentist. Taggy across to Key. Key has a first down and much more. Gets by Wayne Koz, but not by Ken Downing. And that's the final play of the first quarter. The score, Ottawa 7, BC 7. This is the CFL on CTV. We'll have second quarter action in a moment.
Labatt's Party Case with Canada's favorite ale and lager.
It's 50 and blue all in one. Sing, boom, Tarara. Bring out a case of the beer. Now's the time to have a party when the gang's all here.
On the last play of the first quarter, Jerry Taggy finds a wide open Larry Key as he rolls to his right and comes back across the grain. Key just coming out of that backfield, and watch the move he puts on Wayne Tosh, number 17 right here. Tosh kind of slips, but I think the move by Key was the reason. Hi, Bruce and Al. I know who
Ottawa.
McCann is. Who's Bruce?
The signs are getting better as we go across the CFL. Safety valve pass to John Henry White, number 20, will net about 1 yard.
Good for the stats is all that was. Good coverage by the Ottawa defensive backs as Jerry Taggy had 9-10 seconds to throw this ball. Finally has to dump it out to White. A good tackle by Brad Carr, number 42.
Those first quarter statistics, Ottawa 8 first downs compared to 6. 8 passes completed to 13 attempted, 4 for 6 for Taggy. Total yardage, as you can see, favors Ottawa. Scoreboard, however, is even up at 7. Taggy with all day to throw has a receiver. That's Leon Bright, number 26, who gets to the 35-yard line. It'll be 2 yards short.
I'll tell you, they're complaining a little bit about the Ottawa Rough Riders, but I want to show you something here. We start this up right now. We'll stop in just a moment. Watch Larry Key. We'll stop it right there. Here's Key right here. He's going to protect his quarterback, Jerry Taggy. Watch how he does it. He just grabs Brad Carr, number 42, and tackles him right in the middle. Stop it right there. You'll see the contact happening right there between Key and number 42. And watch him drag him down now. Fine tackle by Larry Key. It was not called, folks.
They place the kicking tee at the 42. Pasaglia's kick is up, hits the post.
Of course, that's a dead ball once it hits that upright.
Very frustrating for a kicker to know that he came that close. Quite an athlete, Luke Pasaglia. We were talking with Vic Raff yesterday. Says he could almost use him as a starting receiver on this football team if he wasn't worried about him getting hurt.
I'll tell you, I've seen Luke Pasaglia do a lot of amazing things as an athlete, Peter, and I don't almost have to say that he's as good an athlete, if not the best athlete on the entire football field. Very unusual for a kicker.
Some fine ones across the Canadian Football League. It will be first down at the 10-yard line for the Ottawa Rough Riders in a 7-7 ball game at Empire Stadium in Vancouver. He really spreads the receivers out with the ace backfield and hands to his man. But Mike Murphy will just get back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard. There is a flag on the field.
Boy, Glenn Jackson just reads this perfectly. Watch him, number 37. He doesn't go for the rollout fake at all. He just stays in that linebacking spot, takes a jog step, and steps right up to drill Murphy at the line of scrimmage. Good play by Glenn Jackson.
If you tuned in late, and we know it is getting late as you go eastern across the country.
Procedure. Decline.
Procedure penalty decline. If you joined us late, it was Jeff Avery scoring on a pass from Tom Clements, and then Larry Key for the Lions. 68 yards was that pass to Avery. Having a defensive huddle on the sideline of the Rough Riders. Right now it's their offense on the field. Second down and 8.5. Clements wants to throw it up, does so. Avery catches the ball and steps out of bounds at the 22-yard line.
Devin Ford's a little confused there. I guess he's hurt. He pulled a hamstring on this and attempting to put the coverage on Avery, who just catches it inside the goal line. You can see number 16, Ford, pull up. Just he was trying to get to Avery at the sideline there, and it would appear to be a hamstring pull that he suffered on the sideline there.
That'll bring Doug Carlson
again. You see Avery going down and breaking to the outside. He's wide open for another strike by Tom Clements, and watch Ford as he comes into the picture. He pulls up right here. Go just a little further with it, I think you'll see it. Well, we didn't get a chance to, but he's being taken off the field, not in a great deal of pain, obviously.
Doug Carlson, number 28, just activated for this game, having missed most of the season with an injury. Don't forget, on October 22nd, that's tomorrow between 4 and 5, the Canadian International Championship Stakes live from Woodbine, 4 to 5 Eastern time. Tom Clements with a 64% passing average. And Using that today. There's the pitch out. And Richard Holmes is tripped up behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's Glenn Jackson once again, number 37.
We're just into the second quarter. 12 minutes, 40 seconds remaining till halftime. 7-7 ball game. Been very entertaining so far.
Well, you know, Pete, we talked before the ball game started of having a wide open offensive game, and even though only 14 points scored so far, we've certainly experienced the ball clubs going up and down the field.
Conrad Holloway on headsets at the sideline, watches as Tom Clements runs the football team on 2nd and 10. Clements rolls right, gets pressure, throws it up over the middle. John Beaton. Make that Doug Carlson, 28, defending on Ross Clarkson.
Well, they try to take a look at Carlson. It just came in the ball game replacing Ford, but he provides protection like this against Clarkson. That's about as good as you can do. They won't be looking at him too much longer. Or too many more times, I should say. It's going to create a 3rd and 10 situation for the Riders, so the Lions, barring a penalty here, should have excellent field position to try and break this deadlock.
Leon Bright with a 9.7-yard kick return average. And Ken Hinton at 7.5 go back to receive the punt from that man, Gerald Kunick. Not very deep. Flag on the play.
Oh, no question about that. No yards against number 65, John Anderson, the big defensive tackle. You see him come into your screen right there. He's only about 3 yards away. Only a 36-yard kick by Kunick, so that anticipated good field position is certainly going to be there for the Lions. They'll be all the way down to the 45-yard line of the Riders.
Mentioned earlier that Anderson was from Dalhousie. That is incorrect. His replacement, Mike Riley, is from Dal. Anderson in his 2nd year from Elkhorn.
Son of a gun. I was just working on that song for Dalhousie.
I'll do that when Mike Riley gets in. Taggy with time, throws deep. That goes down, and I believe that is on Tosh. Either pass interference or intentionally screening the man.
Well, there's a great isolated shot once again of group number 25. You can see Tosh all over him at about the 5 or 6 yard line. Exactly what is called. It'll be a very key first down for the Lions at the Ottawa 10-yard line. You could see Tosh all over him.
As Frank Rigney mentioned, it gives the BC Lions a first down at the 10. They have the I formation backfield. Big John Blake in for blocking purposes. Handoff. Larry Key cuts back up the middle, and he'll have about 4 yards. Brad Carr, number 42, is credited with the stop. 65, John Anderson, was also there. Key picks up 3 yards on the play. They can make a first down barely. That is incorrect. They cannot make a first down. It's right at the 10-yard line. So it's 2nd and goal to go from the 7. This time he's got him spread out, gets the chase. Throws into the end zone. Ricky Ellis is nowhere near the ball.
Well, the Lions failed to convert after their big break on the interference call against Wayne Tash. In comes Lou Pasaglia. I doubt very seriously if we see the fake once again here, Peter, with 3rd down and 7 yards to get to the goal line.
Pasaglia is 26 and 32 on the season, having hit the post today. His first attempt was wide, but because of a penalty, it will not go into the record book. Pasaglia this time is right through the middle. So the BC Lions jump into the lead. It's now BC 10, Ottawa 7. The CFL on CTV continues in a moment.
In transportation, as in architecture, there is always a new way we express ourselves. Oldsmobile's expressions of full-size cars, Delta 88 and Holiday 88. Luxury cars with quiet comfort, and both may be equipped with an available V8 diesel. Holiday 88, a sporty feel with the generous room of a full-size car. Delta 88 and Holiday 88. Have one built for you.
Just about everyone you know these days borrows money for some good reason. And just like me, you make your monthly repayments promptly and regular as clockwork. Well, the folks at Laurentide think that's worth rewarding. That's why good guys like you and me get this rebate check from Laurentide every 6 months for up to 2 years. They can add up from $50 to $500. You go see your nearby Laurentide office. Ask about the good guys rebate.
Only Laurentide has the good guys rebate. Have you talked to Laurentide?
Well, so far this season, interlocking play, the West has the advantage. 9-6 with 2 ties, and there's really only a couple more games. Interlocking tomorrow, Hamilton plays against Calgary in Hamilton. Next week, Toronto and BC. So this one could determine whether the West will win. That is Art Green, who runs out of bounds at the 35-yard line. 61-yard kick and a 21-yard return. He's not injured. He's tying up his shoelace. It will be first down for Ottawa. Ball right on the 35, which oddly enough is where they would have taken the ball if they had a scrimmage rather than kicking.
Went
Tom Clements.
Physical punishment there on both sides.
Game nothing. 10 minutes exactly remaining. Clements remains at quarterback. 10-7, BC leads. Handoff is to Holmes, and he's hit instantly. Frank Landy, number 78.
I'll tell you, a great defensive play by Landy, but if he had not made the play, Sam Britz would have. We started up right here. You'll see Britz come into your picture, number 45, the middle linebacker. Landy blow right through there, number 78. I think we're going to, there's Britz finally coming into the spot. A great play by Sam coming from that middle linebacking spot, avoiding the attempted block by Doug McGee, the offensive center.
The loss is 3, second and 13 from the 32. Clements is scrambling. Out of the pocket, completes it to Jeff Avery. Joe Forqueen has him at the 40-yard line. It will be short of a first down.
Good coverage by Joe Forqueen. Avery finally breaks loose long enough for Clements to deliver this ball. Richardson put in a little pressure, and then Landy. Forqueen makes sure that the stop is made well short of the first down. Conversation going on the field right now. Look at Jeff Avery's stats for the day so far. He, of course, has got the major score for the Riders.
The problem down here is the time clock. What are they going to do? They're going to add 6 seconds. They're going to apparently run the clock for 6. They'll run the game without the clock for 6 seconds. Apparently, the clock was running in error.
Kicking situation, and let's put the clock on Jeff, or make that Gerald Kunick this time, and see how long it takes him to kick the ball.
He's really slow, Pete. Not at all suggesting he's not a great kicker, but he takes a long time to get the ball away.
That is Ken Hinton, number 18, who gets to the 35-yard line. Gerald Kunick's punt travels 41 yards.
You can see Kunick back here, and a lot of teams have thought that they could get to Kunick and block one once in a while because he takes such a long stride. He moves up about 6 yards before hitting the football. As a matter of fact, he's had 3 of them blocked in the last 2 football games. I'm sure the Lions are well aware of that after looking at the films of the Riders' recent games.
It's a first down for the BC Lions at their 35-yard line. They lead 10-7. Handoff Larry Key. Cuts inside a block and gets across the 40 to the 42. A gain of 7.
Well, Glenn Leonhardt, number 54, really does a super job coming from that left guard position. Actually, both guards pull, John Blaine as well. But watch Leonhardt come out here and pick up the outside linebacker, Brad Carr, number 42. Key makes the cut up inside him with Don Blake leading the rest of the way.
Good block by Leonhardt from the University of Manitoba. They lost today, U of M, 30-9 to UBC. It's one of many college games today. Second down and 3. Taggy is spilled by number 65, Anderson.
Well, number 65, Anderson, is working against the fellow that just made such a great block, Glenn Leonard, number 54. This time, the winner is obviously John Anderson. 6'3", 240-pounder from Alcorn in his second year. You can see just on the left side of your screen, Al Wilson also
like
got
that,
a piece of him.
Lou Pasaglia will kick. Mike Nelms, number 22, goes deep. He's the only man deep, which is certainly an oddity in the Canadian Football League. Most times they send 2 deep receivers. This time only 1. Nelms on the run. There's a clip by Downing. It's called. The score, the BC Lions 10, the Ottawa Rough Riders 7. The CFL on CTV continues in a moment.
Pro power. Not just raw power, but controlled, directed, thinking power. In sports, pro power means a commitment to excellence, breakthrough performance. In the world of sound, pro power means a half-century of innovation, professionally matched components. Pro power means Akai. Pro power, Akai. Because raw power just isn't enough.
Well, Ken Downey, number 19, is going to be caught here for clipping. You stop it right there. You can see Downing obviously making the clip on Doug Carlson as Nelms was returning the football. It's going to move the Ottawa Rough Riders all the way down to their own 20-yard line, just outside the 20, where they took over 1st and 10.
Actually, about the 21, where it's 1st and 10. McGee's in at center. Quarterback is still Tom Clemens. He fires. That is complete to Tony Gabriel in traffic. Doug Carlson brings him down close to a 1st down.
Well, that's just a matter of using your size. Big Gabe, who's 6'5", working against Carlson, who just over a 6-footer, and he sure took up the area in front of Carlson. Makes a fine reception.
Well, we wait for them to bring the chains in. We'd like to run down some of those college scores across the country today. Carleton beat Ottawa 24-13. Windsor over Toronto 34-22. It was Western 33, Wilfrid Laurier 23. Waterloo beat York 26-22. Queens over Bishops in a close one, 15-14. McMaster beat Guelph 23-8. UBC over Manitoba 30-9. Calgary beat Alberta in that battle of the 2 Alberta schools, 20-10. Good hit by Glenn Jackson. He may be hurt.
Boy, Jackson's having quite an evening. He's made at least 3 or 4 unassisted tackles in this ball game already. Very key one there on Richard Holmes. Looked like number 77, Lou Richardson, jumped offside, however. He saw that motion coming. You see him right there, just inside of Jackson. That motion of both of the backs, Murphy and Green, coming in there might have pulled him offside, but of course the motion is quite legal. Well, I guess the offside against the Lions was not called. The play will stand with the Riders coming up short in their attempt to pick up a 1st down, and their punting unit going on the field once again. George Mankato, the head coach and really Mr. Nice Guy. The Ottawa Rough Riders.
6 minutes, 20 seconds remaining. First half, 10-7. BC leads. They'll get the ball back. We'll put the clock on Kunik this time. Might be his best kick of the ball game. Comes down to Hinton. Hinton has some good running room. Breaks up the middle. Then a flag goes down. Took him 3 seconds to kick it, Frank.
I think it was Paul Girodi going to be called for a clipping on this play. If we can pick it up here as we go along, we'll try and stop it for you. Girodi is number 40. We'll stop it right there. It's either Girodi or Brits, possibly, number 45. No, there's the clip. Stop it there. There's Girodi coming into your picture. I believe it's Doug McGee that he was hitting from the rear. It's going to move the Lions back with a first down to their own 31-yard line. We have 6 minutes remaining in the first half of this ball game, and the Lions lead by 3, 10-7 over the Ottawa Rough Riders.
In the East today, Montreal beat Toronto 30-7, and that clinches second place for the Alouettes. Big pressure on Taggy, and well-read screen. Widger really read that one perfect.
I'll tell you, this is a beautiful offensive play. Widger really did a good job, but it's a double screen, actually. White goes to the right and Key to the left, and Taggy can actually pick either one of them out. I think he just picked out the wrong guy. If he'd have thrown it to White on the other side, there was absolutely nobody over there with him.
6-yard loss. It will be second down and 16.
I like that kind of thing. Double screens. We got double draws earlier in the ball game by the Riders. We had a double screen by them. Good offensive football game.
Long count by Taggy. He may run. Look out from behind, Jerry.
Well, you know, there's a situation, Peter, that really points up the obvious. Jerry Taggy is not a quarterback that can run with the football. Had that been Tom Clements or Conrad Holloway of the Riders, they'd have picked up 10, 15, 20 yards on this play. Jerry has all kind of time to throw the football and wide open, but he knows better than to take off with it.
I get a kick out of his rushing stats on the BC Lions stat sheet. They list him 20 carries for 5 yards.
Well, of course, the quarterback is always being penalized in that kind of stat with the sacks being charged against him. They have to, obviously constitutes a rushing play. We've got an injured ball player down there. I believe it's number 51, Kadaba, coming at that guard spot. Tom Kadaba had started the year at the left guard spot. Just didn't do as good a job as they had hoped, and he's been replaced by Leonhardt.
Good to see him leave under his own steam. Once again, they send a single punt returner back, Mike Nelms. Art Green about 15 yards ahead of him.
Okay, Tommy.
So Saglia will do the punting. There's Nelms. Good high kick, comes down, and Nelms at the 40. Tries to get outside. And there's a flag on the play right at midfield, a fumble, but they rule it dead.
Oh, boy, Sam Bretz really put a hit on Nelms. There's a flag, as you mentioned, Peter, a little earlier there. Watch the hit by number 45, Sam Bretz here. Causes Nelms to lose the football as he drops right on his head. I agree with that call. It was not a fumble. Nelms, you see number 22 actually dislodged from the football when he hit the ground. Rich really caught him up in the air, and watch Nelms as he hits the ground head first.
They're marking it off against the Ottawa Rough Riders.
It's been amazing, Pete. It's been a reasonably clean football game as far as penalties are concerned, with the exception of the kicking game. We've had quite a number of clips and no-yard penalties, but basically from the line of scrimmage, both ball clubs have been reasonably penalty-free.
Just like to remind the fans that tomorrow afternoon, our CTV Eastern crew will have to come into Regina and do the Winnipeg Blue Bombers against the Saskatchewan Rough Riders in a Western Network telecast. Clemens throws over the middle. Mike Murphy has all kinds of running room. And he lugs it out to the 53-yard line.
Peter, you know, most of the time the responsibility for that type of play, the screen play, is the linebacker. And I'll show you exactly why that play works so well. If we can start it up just a moment. You'll see Glenn Jackson. Stop it right there. He's the linebacker on that side who's lined up in the inside spot there. But he comes on a blitz, and there's nobody out in the flat area where Murphy slips out to for that screen pass. You see Jackson going right past Murphy, who just takes a little quick shoulder block on him, a good fake. Murphy picks up a big first down for Ottawa.
And Murphy again gets the call on the draw, and the big man gets it down to the 40-yard line. 28 yards on his screen pass, 17 on a draw.
We talked about the sophomore Canadian back, Mike Murphy, before this ball game started, and his value, and you've seen it on the last two plays. First of all on a screen, now a draw. We have a score of 10-7 here. The CFL on CTV will continue in just a moment.
Jeff Avery, it's completed. And Fort Queen, with help from Jackson, throws him down at the 32-yard line of the Lions. That'll be about 3 yards short of a first down.
Maybe a little frustration there on Joe Fort Queen's part. Jeff Avery's had quite a night. That's his 6th reception in this ball game in the first 28 minutes, 27 minutes. We're just under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Jeff Avery, the only major score for the Ottawa Rough Riders in this ball game, 68 yards from Tom Clemens in the first quarter.
Handoff is to Mike Murphy. He's hit immediately by Glenn Jackson, but stumbles forward close to the first down. Have a second here. We'd just like to remind you that new Canada Savings bonds are now on sale. Choose the compound interest bond or the regular interest bond. Bud Ulrich is the referee, number 50. The head referee. The line umpire is Harold Ferguson, number 22. The backup, Maury Mulhern, number 35. The head linesman, John Hope Ross, number 56. And the field umpire, number 40, Gord Johnson. First down for the Ottawa Rough Riders. 2 minutes, 35 seconds remaining. First half at Empire Stadium. Tom Clemens has gone all the way at quarterback. Clemens over the middle on the center screen to Murphy. Gets away from one man and gets down close to the 15. It'll be another Ottawa first down.
Once again, Murphy wide open on the screen pass. This time up the middle. Quick fake to Holmes here, and Holmes comes back and tries to help protect his quarterback, Tom Clemens, but it's Murphy once again picking up a first down all the way down to the BC Lions 16-yard line. Ottawa Rough Riders have had an awful lot of offense in this football game so far for only having 7 points on the board.
Double fullback formation. Clemens gets outside, just lofts it out for Holmes, number 28. Touchdown.
I'll tell you, they really work over Doug Seymour, the right defensive end, to give time for Tom Clemens on that roll to the left side. I think the play is going to be called back because of holding. But watch the job that they do against Seymour. That's Charlie Brandon, number 61, who finally decks him to the outside. John Beaton is cleanly beat by Holmes.
Holding,
it's being
61
called back. You heard the
Number
call.
61, Charlie Brandon.
Charlie Brandon. I can't believe that he was holding on the play as he pulled out and got a clean piece of Doug Seymour.
Tom Clemens, 14 for 20. 229 yards, 70%. Pass completion record so far in this ball game. Lofts that one up for Gabriel and overthrows him. There is a penalty flag down in the offensive backfield.
I almost have to believe it's going to be another holding call against the Riders. You'll see big pressure by number 10, John Beaton, on Tom Clements here. Clements throws off balance. Beaton holds up, does not get a roughing call against the quarterback.
John Beaton, number 10, is going to be the man, I believe.
You're kidding. They called him for roughing on that?
That's what the man tells me.
I thought Beaton had held up and not hit quarterback Tom Clements.
Number 10, right? Number 10 on the service.
Tough call.
BC, first down.
It was number 10, John Beaton, who gets charged for roughing the quarterback. And that moves Ottawa right back into it. Now down to the 13-yard line. 1 minute, 47 seconds remaining. First half, 1st and 10. Both backs in motion left. Clements goes the other way. Has pressure, fires over everyone.
Well, Tommy's trying to hit Jeff Avery once again, and you notice that very seldom does Clements ever step back in the pocket to throw the football. He's rolling one way or the other, and that's his great maneuverability. Really a contrasting style to Jerry Taggy, and actually Tom Clements was in the countdown series, Beaton, when we filmed it, and he probably throws the ball better on the run than he does standing back there in the drop back spot, which is kind of unusual, but he's a great athlete.
Notre Dame. Fake is to Holmes. Landy giving pursuit. He throws it up, and that's almost intercepted by Hinton. But he was stripped of the ball by the intended receiver, Ross Clarkson.
Boy, that was almost reminiscent of 1977 when Kenny Hinton returned one 124 yards for a touchdown going the other way. He had an excellent chance here of picking up 6, and had he been able to pick that ball off, he's got blinding speed.
And it is he who will go back deep for the BC Lions as J.T. Hay comes on the field. Good on 24 out of 36. His longest was from 48. This one nowhere near that long. Gerald Kunick will spot the ball at the 20. Kick is up, and it's good. So with 1 minute and 31 seconds remaining, the 20-yard field goal by J.T. Hay will tie the score at 10s. As we mentioned earlier in the telecast, J.T. is the nominee of the Ottawa Rough Riders as the outstanding rookie on the Ottawa team. Larry Key is the counterpart on the BC Lions. Also their most outstanding player nominee.
Peter, I've got a very interesting stat in the first 28 minutes of this ball game. Although we have a tied game, this Tommy Clements, the Ottawa quarterback that you're looking at, has put together a total offense of 258 yards for the Riders. Really an impressive offensive display. Not that much on the scoreboard, only 10 to 10. BC's total offense has been only 111 yards.
Back deep to receive. The kick from J.T. Hay. Short one, and goes to John Henry White. White's trying to get outside. Hay's on his feet and gets to the 50-yard line.
Well, he finally tripped and fell over Tom Schultz, the backup linebacker of the Lions, number 50. Might have had a little more room yet. Looks like Greg Nettles at third base the way he fields that one. Look at the moves he makes, getting out there, and finally number 50, Schultz, right in front of him, will become the stumbling block for John Henry White. Right there. BC Lions first down at the Rider 50.
On first down, Taggy has a minute and a half to work with. He got pressure, throws it up for Key. Then he really takes punishment as he is hit at the same time by Fanucci and Piaskowski.
Just an excellent job by Larry Watkins, number 64, the offensive tackle of the Lions, picking up shooting linebacker Mike Widger. Watch him. He's at the lower left of your screen. He drills him and stops him right there, giving Jerry time to throw the football.
Piaskowski really unloads on Taggy just as he lets go of the ball.
Taggy had to get rid of it. You see Larry Key had slipped and fallen and hadn't recovered fully before the ball got there.
Second down and 10 for the Lions. 1 minute and 9 remaining. Ball is at the 50. Center screen over the middle is almost intercepted.
Glassford, I believe, number 76. A little chagrin with himself, not having picked that one up. It was right in his hands. Watch to throw. Here's Glassford stepping right in front of the football.
Well, with 1:05 remaining, Coach Vic Raff decides that he will not attempt a very long field goal, but will let Lou Pasaglia punt ball. His longest of the season, or of the game rather, 55 yards. Longest of the season, 82. This one won't go anywhere near that. Mike Nelms back at the 11-yard line. Undercut by one man, stays on his feet, and gets to the 18. 7-yard return of a 39-yard punt. Make that 55 seconds remaining. Minute flag is up, and Ottawa's got a long way to move the football.
I don't really like that move by little Donnie Taylor there, number 19, going in trying to block Nelms. Nelms is too good a open field runner to bring him down like that. You got to wrap those arms around a guy like that.
The Lions started out with a 3-man line, that 3-5 defense. They've switched back to the conventional 4-man line. Hand off to Holmes. He gets across the 20 to about the 21. Glenn Jackson, number 37, has him from behind. 51 seconds remaining. Larry Brune, number 21, and Wayne Tosh, number 17, discussing the defensive coverage in the secondary of the Ottawa Rough Riders. Second down and 8. Ball just over the 20-yard line. 36 seconds remaining in the first half of play. Clemens decides to keep the ball, and Frank Landy, along with Louis Richardson, wrap him up at the 24-yard line. So they'll have to punt it away, and the Lions will still have 27 seconds to work with. Much of that, however, will be run off by the Ottawa Rough Riders before Gerald Koenig kicks the ball. Last time Pasaglia punted, we tied him at 2.2 seconds to get rid of the ball. Frank Rigney's telling us that Koenig kicks him slow. We'll time him on this one, Frank.
Well, that's not fair if you're going to try to be accurate.
Wasn't bad that time. 2.4 seconds. 0.2 seconds difference. Fumble by Hinton. Picks it up. Still on his feet. Now he goes down at the 49-yard line. And that was the final play of the first half. The score, the BC Lions 10, the Ottawa Rough Riders 10. This is the CFL on CTV. We'll be back in just a moment. At field level, I've got Ottawa's all-Canadian linebacker Mike Widger, who is now a middle linebacker instead of an outside linebacker. Second game, I guess, Mike. It must be a little confusing to change in the middle, eh?
Well, I'll tell you, last week Montreal gave me a very quick indoctrination there. They ran at me quite a bit. It was a rough afternoon, but I'm starting to feel a little more at home. I'm starting to read a little better, I think.
Well, I see that BC's trying to neutralize your pass rush by throwing a lot of various types of screen passes. That must really give you time to think, eh?
Yeah, it gives you a little fits at time, especially when you're out in the one-on-one with a guy like Key, because he's an excellent back. He's hard to get a hold of. But
this is your first close look at him. What do you think of him?
I saw him playing the Can-Am Bowl last year. He's a good football player. He's got a lot of good moves.
Mike, when do you I know it's all predetermined, but I noticed on a couple of the plays, you're coming out as a middle linebacker blitz.
Yeah.
But a lot of times you have to sit back doing it because they're throwing a lot of screens and stuff.
Well, what happens is when we blitz with the linebackers, we have to, sometimes I don't blitz and I have a man-to-man to cover. And it varies on the different defenses who we're sending and who we're not sending. So sometimes I have to stay off with the back.
Mike, congratulations on a great season so far, and best of luck down the road.
Thank you.
Okay, Mike Widger, Ottawa Rough Riders. Coming up next is our All-Pro Countdown. This is the CFL on CTV. We'll continue with halftime in just a moment.
Dee-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Dee-dum, dee-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-dum, 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 ba-da-dum.
On Countdown, the biggest names in the CFL combined to show their talents. Ron Lancaster will be throwing to Tom Forzani. They've got their work cut out for them, though, because defending are the Harris boys, Dickie and Eric. And for the East, it'll be Chuck Ely throwing to the amazing Tony Gabriel. And it'll be tough sledding for them, too. Steve Dennis will combine with Ray Odoms. And if speed is a factor, and it most assuredly will be, these two have plenty of it. Countdown 78, brought to you by Old Port, Canada's most popular little cigars.
The great thing about Colts is you can smoke them just about any time. Oh, sure, you can take a big, expensive cigar and flavor it with rum and dip it in wine and come up with a very ritzy cigar tasting somewhat like Colts. But in many instances, a fancy cigar like that would make you feel a little out of place. Colts, and Colts Mild. Enjoy them anytime.
Just before we get underway, let's listen into the offensive strategy of Ron Lancaster and Tom Forzani.
But if he doesn't, if he just keeps giving ground this way, keeping you out, I still think you're going to have to worry about the bump. Because I think when the ball snaps, he's going to come to you. You know, he'll try to get in a position where your first two steps, he's going to hit you. That's when he's got to be careful, because if you get inside, he's dead.
Those defensive backs have been very careful so far. As you see the statistical story, Eric Harris leading the way. Mike, how about an explanation of the game?
Well, Pat, the pass must be completed within this area, 24 yards from hash mark to sideline, and the ball released within 2.8 seconds. The receiver is given 5 points per reception and 1 point for each yard gained. There is a maximum of 50 points up for grabs on each play.
10-yard out post. Okay, first down.
10-yard out and post, so they're going to turn it up and go for the whole bundle against this man, Dickie Harris. Great coverage by Harris. Pat, he was there all the way.
No doubt about it. Dickie Harris has been victimized earlier in this competition, but he did a tremendous job on that occasion. Tony Gabriel and Chuck Ely now.
Straight out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
They're up against Steve Dennis, and depending on the coverage, Gabriel's going to look to that breakout.
Set! How it?
He's
good
open.
Move. Good move. Bad pass, Pat. Gabriel had the good move, and the break, he was open, but Chuck Ely just let him a little too much.
The flag and the 15-yard in if he's on. Okay? As soon as he tells.
Once again, there's an option on the route that he's going to run. He's going to be looking to the flag, and if he's playing off him, he's going to break in at about 15 yards. Harris is playing up on him, taking away the inside.
Flag is down, Mike. Interference is going to be the call, despite a great play by Eric Harris.
Be interesting to see it again. Eric Harris doing a great job of not allowing Forzani to go back to the inside, but I think I saw a bit of a sweater tug as Forzani broke to the sideline, so we'll keep our eye out for it now. At this stage, Harris has his hands on him and is just preventing Forzani from coming back to the inside, but he just had a bit of a grab on him there. That's why the flag was thrown and also allowed Harris to get in front.
You want to go deep?
It also allowed Tom Forzani to pick up 20 points as Tony Gabriel and Chuck Ely now combine once again against Steve Dennis.
Set!
Defense has been the name of the game so far. Dennis is laying off him. Gabriel going for the deep route, but good defense. The ball a little overthrown again, but Dennis was in good proximity to him.
Well, you see, Forzani is 1 for 2, Gabriel 0 for 2, and we'll be back in just a moment.
The great thing about Colts is you can smoke them just about any time. Oh, sure, you can take a big, expensive cigar and flavor it with rum and dip it in wine and come up with a very ritzy cigar tasting somewhat like Colts. But in many instances, a fancy cigar like that would make you feel a little out of place. Colts, and Colts mild. Enjoy them anytime.
There's little doubt that the defensive backs have dominated the competition to this point, but let's see if Lancaster and Forzani can come up with something new.
Once again, the pass route is going to be determined on the coverage by Dickie Harris. Came up quickly and took away the inside.
He's there.
And just as quickly, Forzani took the outside.
Well, Ronnie's not too pleased with the throw. He certainly knows that the pass was there. He simply overthrew it.
Okay. I can't win. All right.
Tony Gabriel is just going to try the hitch against Ray Odoms. Maybe he's a little concerned about the speed of Odoms.
On.
You see that Odoms is giving him a little room. Well, looks a little bit like what the kids do in the park, but Ray Odoms won't let him get away.
Actually, you know, it looks like a funny play, but it's not a bad move on Gabriel's part because he is isolated one-on-one against the deep back, and if he can fake him out, he's gone for the touchdown.
Well, that's a good rationalization. Now we'll see how Tom Forzani does against Eric Harris.
Go your right shoulder in front of the side. All right.
Well, this is really a finesse pass, Mike. He wants him to drop it right over his right shoulder. Can he do it?
Well, I don't know if he can do it or not, but the reason is that Eric Harris is giving him such tight coverage, and he's getting away from him right now.
Oh, what a play, Mike. There was good coverage, but the pass was perfect.
Well, what a tremendous move by Tom Forzani at the line. They expected the tight coverage from Eric Harris. With the quick move at the line, he got him off just for a moment and then was able to turn it up. There it is. Harris goes for the move. Forzani breaks up. Lancaster gives the quick release, lofting it over Harris's head, and you got a big play.
On the inside, all I got to do is try to back out. If he's playing from the outside, okay. You don't want it in deep? Yeah, then I try to post if he's playing outside. If he's playing inside, I go corner.
Well, there it is. Very simply, Ray Odoms is going to be faced with a deep pattern by Tony Gabriel. Depending on how Odoms plays him, Gabriel will either be going for the post or the flag.
Mike, he needs a big play. Trailing by 38 at this moment, a touchdown would win the competition for Tony Gabriel.
Hey! Odoms giving him a little room. He's going to the post. Appeared to me to be pretty good coverage on the play. The ball overthrown, but nonetheless, Odoms was in good position.
Well, Tony Gabriel, you can see, is pretty disappointed, but what a tremendous job by Tom Forzani, and this is the play that won it for him as he combined with Ron Lancaster for the big play over Eric Harris. The final score then was Forzani 52, Gabriel 14. But the big story of today's competition was the play of the defensive backs, giving up just 3 completions in 8 attempts. Our new leader at the 3-quarter mark of the competition is Ray Odoms, and the West has taken a commanding 120-60 lead in the team standings for the Panasonic Quintrix TV sets. Next week, we go back to where football is won and lost, the pit, when we come your way for Old Port, Canada's most popular little cigars.
Well, a halftime score here at Empire Stadium. We have a tied ball game with the BC Lions and Ottawa Rough Riders 10 apiece. This is the CFL on CTV, and we'll continue with our halftime show in just a moment.
EV Television Network.
Well, we've had a very interesting first 30 minutes of action here at Empire Stadium. The Ottawa Rough Riders have been very impressive offensively, putting on over 250 yards of total offense in this ball game. They started out with the opening kickoff and returned from their own 23-yard line. They marched all the way down the field until Tom Clements tried to find Tony Gabriel at the goal line. What a great interception, a fine catch by Grady Cavness, snuffed out that drive. However, the Ottawa Rough Riders came back to put their only major on the board on the next series of plays in the first quarter as Tom Clements found Jeff Avery, who's been just outstanding in the first 30 minutes, behind the secondary of the Lions, Ford and Fort Queen, and he goes 68 yards for a major score. Then the Lions came back with this fake field goal as Jerry Taggy found White over the middle, picked up a big first down to the 4-yard line, and then watched a great offensive effort by Glenn Leonhardt right here. He's working against Anderson, number 65, the defensive tackle right there. He provides the block that puts Larry Key into the end zone. As good a picture as you'll see of offensive blocking by a lineman in the CFL. The Lions did manage to get another break in the ball game when they had an interference call go their way. Wayne Tosh, number 17, interfered with Al Sharuk and set up a first down at the 10-yard line. You'll see the play here. It was quite obvious that Tosh did interfere with Sharuk on the play. However, they could only manage a field goal. That put them ahead 10-7. The Riders came back and tied it up. So that's a score, and this is a CFL on CTV. We'll have second half action in just a moment.
It's special. It's special. It's the best special light.
Special Light. Do you know how refreshing this great Canadian beer can taste? When it's brewed with all the flavor, the enjoyment, everything, and it has less than 99 calories in a bottle.
Taste Labatt's Special Light.
Taste Labatt's Special Light.
It's special. Taste Labatt's Special Light.
At Canadian Pacific, we work in all four corners of the world. In transportation and resource development, we work from the Arctic to the Orient, from Australia to Europe, from South America to the Middle East. So you see,
there's more than four corners.
At Canadian Pacific, we work in all 8 corners of the world.
At Canadian Pacific, we believe what we do is important to you.
This is Peter Young along with Frank Rigney and Al McCann at Empire Stadium in Vancouver, hoping you're enjoying tonight's football game. The first half statistics show Ottawa control of the first downs, 13-7. Tom Clements, 14 of 22. Jerry Taggy, 7 of 12. In passing yardage, look at that, 229-81 in favor of Ottawa. Rushing, very insignificant for both teams in that first half. Team losses also very insignificant. The total yardage, double for Ottawa. However, on the scoreboard, the BC Lions are equal at 10-10.
We predicted a very wide-open football game, Peter. As you can see from those stats, the Ottawa Rough Riders put the ball in the air 22 times, and I don't think that's going to slow down. I think Clements, or if Holloway gets in the ball game, will continue to throw the ball almost every play.
It's a crisp, cool night in Vancouver, very clear.
It's always clear, Peter, in the Evergreen Playground.
Which is an oddity for this time of the year. Tom Clements on the sideline. It will be the Ottawa Rough Riders kicking to the BC Lions. Leon Bright and Larry Key, and it is Key that has the ball and some sideline. Gets up to the 35, and that's about it. Actually marked him at the 37-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 37. A 25-yard kick return by Larry Key. And a 55-yard kick by J.T. Hay.
Tell you, watch the hit that Sam Britch gets right in front of Larry Key here. He's number 45. Just destroyed his man. He was right there. Gave Key a little bit more room. They get a first down at their own 36.
High formation. Jerry Taggy, pitch out. It's the reverse. And Leon Bright gets a block there. Glassford's closing him down. He gets by another man and steps out of bounds, and a flag gets thrown. Ken Downing took the shot out of bounds, and that'll cost him 15.
Well, we talked about wide open football, and thanks to Freddie Fleming, our ISO director again, we've got a good shot of Bright coming around on that reverse. You'll see Downing make the hit out of bounds there. Bright was clearly a couple yards off the playing field. That moves the ball all the way up to the 53-yard line for BC Lions.
Really only picked up a couple of yards on the play, but when he added the 15 to it, it brings the ball all the way, as Frank mentioned, up to the 53. First down again. 10-10 tie just into the second half. That's John Henry White, and he will get inside Ottawa territory to their 51-yard line. And that will be a gain of 6 yards.
Tell you, watch the hit that Sam Britch gets right in front of Larry Key here. He's number 45. Just destroyed his man. He was right there. Gave Key a little bit more room. They get a first down at their own 36.
I formation. Jerry Taggy, pitch out. It's the reverse. And Leon Bright gets a block there. Glassford's closing him down. He gets by another man and steps out of bounds, and a flag gets thrown. Ken Downing took the shot out of bounds, and that'll cost him 15.
Well, we talked about wide open football, and thanks to Freddie Fleming, our ISO director again, we've got a good shot of Bright coming around on that reverse. You'll see Downing make the hit out of bounds there. Bright was clearly a couple yards off the playing field. That moves the ball all the way up to the 53-yard line for the BC Lions.
Really only picked up a couple of yards on the play, but when he added the 15 to it, it brings the ball all the way, as Frank mentioned, up to the 53. First down again. 10-10 tie just into the second half. That's John Henry White, and he will get inside Ottawa territory to their 51-yard line. And that will be a gain of 6 yards. It'll be 2nd and 4. Ricky Ellis brings in the play that Vic Rapp would like Jerry Taggy to call. Usually Rapp leaves it up to Jerry to call most of the plays, sometimes offers some suggestions. Taggy's played very well the last month. All kinds of protection. Taggy throws for Sharuk. Let's see who's got the ball. I'll make that Ken Downing has the ball. And that is the interception. Ken Downing. They rule him down at that point at the 7-yard line. So Downing now has 7 and leads the team.
That ball really wasn't thrown very well by Jerry Taggy. You see him get back there, sets up, almost has to go forward 2 or 3 steps and to try to put something on this one. You can see it wobbling in the air as Downing goes back, makes a fine catch on the play. His 7th interception of the season. And of course, as we mentioned earlier in the telecast, Downing was a BC Lion in the training camp at Courtney, BC here. And a great find for the Ottawa Rough Riders.
First down for Ottawa. Tom Clements stays in at quarterback. Hands to Mike Murphy. Murphy might not get back to the line of scrimmage.
Funny why they keep running to their right, Peter, because Glenn Jackson and Louis Richardson have been the outstanding defensive players for the Lions so far in this ball game. Jackson, of course, number 37 at linebacker, and Lou Richardson, 77 at that left defensive end. Number 77.
You know, Ottawa wanted to rest Jeff Turcotte, 67, and Don Smith, 64. And that's what they've done so far. And the two replacements, Doug McGee and Ray Honey, a couple of Canadian kids, done very well. Over the middle. Good defensive play by Doug Carlson as he knocks the ball through the fingertips of Tony Gabriel. And a punting situation.
A little pressure applied to Tom Clements this time with the blitz coming in once again. Attempting to hit Tony Gabriel. See Glenn Jackson, number 37, coming from that linebacking spot. Murphy.
Good high punt. Leon Bright in his own territory near midfield. Gets across the midfield stripe. Cuts in. Has some room. Stays on his feet. Gets all the way down to the 37-yard line.
See, Pete Stenerson, number 23, finally makes this stop, and I don't even think he realized that he made the tackle. Watch it. Here's Bright going to his left side. Stenerson is number 23. 32-yard return.
They place the ball at the 36-yard line. Leon Bright back off the injured list. Did not play 2 weeks ago when the BC Lions beat the Edmonton Eskimos at Commonwealth Stadium.
Canada,
where we'll be next week, by the way.
Rookie of the year of 1977.
Keithley throws it up, almost intercepted. Gary Keithley into the lineup. He had real pressure from Mike Finucci.
Mike Finucci, you'll see him come from the bottom of your screen here. Keithley just wanting to set up a quick screen to the outside, I believe, to right, but Finucci's right in there, almost has an interception. Keithley has to bat it away from him.
You know what? There's another case, too, where it's hard to tell. That could have been a backwards pass, in which case it was a lateral, in which case that's a loose ball.
Yes.
Second down, it's 10.
And we have that change in quarterback. Gary Keithley coming in to replace Jerry Taggy.
Ace backfield. Keithley throws over the middle. And Jimmy Young had it, but could not hang on as he was hit by Peter Kreppen, number 10.
I don't know if Kreppen got a hand on this ball or not. It looked like Keithley delivered it extremely well to Young. Well, I guess he did. He got that left arm in there in between Jimmy's attempt to make the reception, but Keithley put a lot on that ball.
The long field goal attempt by Lou Pasaglia. At least they'll line up that way. Placing the ball at the 43 is Jerry Taggy. Kick is up. Wide to the left. Mike Nelms, thinking about running it out, now decides rather wisely that it would not be the best move. Gives up a single point, so the BC Lions regain the lead. To score, the Lions 11, the Rough Riders 10. The CFL on CTV continues in a moment.
This is the premiere performance of the unique Algoma Steel Symphony. Brought to you by Canadian Pacific, of particular interest to the various instruments. The seamless steel pipe, light rails and heavy rails, ingots, blooms, billets and slabs, forged grinding balls, the white flange beam, hot or cold roll sheet, and strip steel, and the ever-popular plate steel. As you can see, harmonious variety is the keynote of the Algoma Steel performance. At Canadian Pacific, keeping in tune with customers' needs is very important to us. That's why we think our subsidiary Algoma makes such beautiful music in the steel business.
At Canadian Pacific, We believe what we do is important to you.
Ottawa punter Gerald Kunick practicing the dropping of the ball on the sideline. Very important that you keep it straight when you're doing that. Otherwise, the ball does funny things. John Anderson, number 65, second-year man of Elkhorn, 6'3", 240, having some equipment adjusted. It's first down for Ottawa. They trail by a single point. Tom Clements, a little flip pass to Gabriel. And Gabriel will have very close to a first down. Scales the BC Lions bench. It'll be close to a 10-yard pickup. Actually, just about a foot short of the first down. Good opportunity here for Clements, needing only inches to perhaps go deep. He could waste one, Pete. You're absolutely right. 10 minutes, 35 seconds remaining, third quarter. Pretty good ball game. 11-10 the score. The BC Lions have to win to keep alive any playoff hope. Well, they proved us wrong this time. Just dive through for the first down. Down there in the pits. That's what it looks like. A lot of humanity bashing each other in there. A lot more fun sitting up here talking about it. It certainly is. Don't forget tomorrow afternoon, if you're in the West, you get to see the Winnipeg Blue Bombers against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Pat Marsden, Mike Wadsworth, and if you can get there in time, Frank Rigney. Clements throws to Gabriel. That's once again close to a first down. I like that quick roll fake to Art Green, number 20. It just looked like an inside counter play, and then Clements just kept the ball coming out to the outside. Gave himself a lot of time. You know, the CFL on CTV is protected by copyright and is intended solely for the entertainment of the viewing audience. Reproduction by any means, in whole or in part without permission, is prohibited. And you see the measurement, and it's a first down. This ball game is going to look completely lopsided if we look at stats, Peter, as we go along. The Lions leading by 1 point, but the Riders once again starting a great offensive drive. 2 straight completions now to Tony Gabriel, moved them inside the BC Lion territory at the 52. There's a good shot of the I formation backfield. Now Holmes moves out as they split him out. Quick hitter up the middle. Art Green caught it, but he paid for it. That was Sam Britz, the middle linebacker. Watch this hit. Just a quick look-in pass as Clements is reading the defense, and middle linebacker Sam Britz gets over there very quickly after Green makes the reception. It's a pickup of about 8 yards with 9 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Ottawa once again on the move. Toss the other way to Gabriel, and he should have a first down. He also attracts 5 defenders. I'll tell you, it's just almost impossible to stop that kind of play with the size of Tony Gabriel out there at 6'5". Once again, working against Doug Carlson, number 28, who's come into this ball game. Just a quick roll, and the big tight end slips out in the flat, picks up another first down for the Riders, their third in this drive. They have the ball at the BC line, 40-yard line. Gabriel's 5th reception of the ball game. He came into the game at 53, now it's 58. Meaning he trails Joe Poplawski, the lead receiver in the Canadian Football League, by 5. Clements over the middle to Gabriel again.
It's kind of hard to stop the passing offense with Tony Gabriel, and one of the things they're doing here, if we start it up, you'll see Sam Britz, the middle linebacker, coming in on a blitz. Stop it there. He's right here. And of course, that leaves the middle wide open as Tony Gabriel just fakes a block and goes to the vacated area right over the middle, where Britz had lined up originally. The pickup is about 7 yards, so the 2nd and 3 for the Riders.
7 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. Here in the third quarter, it's 11-10. BC leads. Handoff to Mike Murphy. Puts his head down and gets to the 30-yard line, and that should be enough for a first down. The score, BC 11, Ottawa 10. The CFL on CTV continues in a moment.
At one time, Canadian Pacific was primarily owned outside this country, in Britain, in the United States, and in a few other countries. In those days, Canadians were low man on the totem pole. But today, that's all changed. Today, over 70% of Canadian Pacific is owned by Canadians. And that certainly looks much better to us.
At Canadian Pacific, we believe what we are is important to you.
Vic Rapp mentioned that although there is a slight chance of a playoff spot for the BC Lions, it would almost take a miracle. And he says they're playing on pride, and they'll do so for the rest of the season.
And the team
George
with the pride,
Brancato
of
knows
course,
it's over.
is the Ottawa Rough Riders. George says it is a little tough to go into the last 3 or 4 ball games, the last 3 regular season, without it meaning anything. But boy, a big hit on Mike Murphy on that 3rd and a half a yard to go. That's going to be questionable. I think he made it.
BC players seem to feel that they stopped him, but I think best wait till they place the ball down.
He got over the 30-yard line, Peter, so will be a first down.
No question about that. They moved the sticks. And they placed the ball at the 29-yard line. There is an injured Ottawa Rough Rider. It might be Mike Murphy who carried the ball. Peter Stennerson goes into the huddle, so it obviously is one of the running backs, and it is number 30, Mike Murphy. What a football player. A man that big, boy. Certainly helps your backfield when you can put a Canadian in there and do the job that he does.
Tom Clements continues to put it in the air very successfully. You know, Peter, your comment about Murphy is certainly accurate, but it also helps to have a guy like Art Green on one side and Holmes on the other. You got 3 people who can run with the football and also catch it extremely well.
That one was tipped at the line intended for Gabriel. 6 minutes, 37 seconds remaining. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Gabe just going on that quick pattern to the outside. The one that we mentioned is so difficult to defend against. Ball tipped by the front 4 of the Lions. I didn't pick out who it was. I think maybe it was Frank Landy, number 78.
The 10th play of this current Ottawa drive. 2nd and 10. Clemens, quick drop. Over the middle, batted away. And a flag down. Grady Cavness, I believe, is going to be called.
I'll tell you, he had to hurry that when Sam Britz was coming on a blitz up the middle and almost got to him. You'll see Britz coming up right through this area. You stop it right there. Britz really comes in almost clean as Pomerico, number 58, or I should say number 58. Pomerico is number 56. That's Doug McGee, 58, misses him. Now you'll see your interference call.
See if we can pick it up better from this angle. Grady Cavness, number 32, is the man that was charged with the penalty. They say he was on
had the left hand on.
They had a hand around his waist. 1st and 10 at the 15. And up the middle goes Mike Murphy. Gets inside the 15, down to about the 14-yard line. It'll be a gain of 3 yards. 2nd down and 7.
Well, they just continue to maintain possession of the football. The Riders now 5 first downs in this quarter. The Lions have yet to pick up one. We've got just 5:35 remaining in this 3rd quarter. The Lions lead by 1.
Clarkson and Green wide right. Clemens slight roll that way, throws back the other way. Who's got that ball? The BC Lions. Ken Hinton with the interception.
Look at this once again. We may see Tony Gabriel come in the picture. I thought he was interfered with right at the goal line. A little push by Frank Oliver, number 17. It was not picked up by the officials. The interception will stand. Cavness, of course, picked off an interception in the first half of this ballgame. You see the push there by Oliver, number 17. So twice now in this ball game, the Ottawa Rough Riders have driven the length of the field almost, only to be intercepted on once by Grady Cadmus in the first half. Now this one by Kenny Hinton.
That's Larry Key, number 11, taking the Gary Keithley handoff. And he should have a good chunk of yardage. They'll mark the ball at about the 17-yard line. Give them 7 on that play and make it 2nd down and 3. Vic Rapp, the head coach of the BC Lions, exhorting his players to keep giving it 100%. They lead by 1. Larry Keys picked up 37 yards so far in this ball game in 8 carries, so he's just about 107 yards, Peter, from cracking a magical 1,000 yards in his rookie season. And one of those in contention for the Rookie of the Year honors in the Canadian Football League. Handoff to John Henry White, and he will be short of the first down by a couple.
Just a super move by Mike Raines, number 79 here. Watch him. He's working against John Blaine and Simpson on that side. He gets inside of Simpson, number 66. Gets to the ball carrier very quickly.
So Pasaglia, number 5, comes onto the field, and the Ottawa offensive unit, which has been directed very capably today by number 2, Tom Clements, prepares to go back onto the artificial turf here at Empire Stadium in Vancouver. Mike Nelms is the single deep man for the Ottawa Rough Riders. Pasaglia's 4th punt of the night, 44-yard average, a little under his seasonal total. Really gets into this one. That drives Nelms way back to his 30. And he doesn't get much further as Donnie Taylor, number 19, is down to stop him at the 35. 61 yards on that kick by Lou Pasaglia. Nelms, because of the great coverage by Taylor, number 19, is limited to a 3-yard return. So Pasaglia negates the Riders getting particularly good field position. They'll take over just over there outside their own 35-yard line. Peter, we don't have an update on the time of possession at this stage, but the Riders must have controlled the football at least 2/3 of this ball game. Certainly have. They've mounted the offense, but haven't put it in. They trail by a point, 11-10. There's the pitch out. Clements throws into the middle, intended for Gabriel, and he has the reception.
Can you believe that? The game hung on. That was Joe Farqueen that nailed him chest high just as the ball got there. An 18-yard pickup by Gabriel. A quick pitch fake to Holmes. And watch this hit. Amazing that he held on to the football.
Actually, he re-caught it on the way down. Jarred it loose and says, I'll take that.
Well, we're not going to give you 2 catches, Tony, no matter what you say.
3 minutes, 9 seconds remaining. 3rd quarter. Inside handoff to Art Green. That play certainly didn't work. John Beaton, number 10, came in. The score of the BC Lions 11, the Ottawa Rough Riders 10. The CFL on CTV continues in a moment.
At Canadian Pacific, we're always looking for new services we can offer to you. And now, we're about to unwrap 2 new ones. This one, from our people in Canpar, picks up and delivers small packages for businesses across Canada. Dependably, quickly, and at very attractive rates. And this one, from our people at Elan Holidays, delivers you on holiday tours to sunspots like Florida, Mexico, and Hawaii. Dependably, imaginatively, and at very attractive rates. At Canadian Pacific, we think packaging holidays and delivering packages are 2 good new services for us to be wrapped up in. And we hope you do too. At Canadian Pacific, we believe what we do is important to you.
Al McCann at field level of Empire Stadium. Peter Young with Frank Rigney in the broadcast booth. The Ottawa Rough Riders 2nd down and 12. Back at their 51. Tom Clements rolls to his left, gets some pressure, throws it up. That is intercepted by Doug Carlson. Carlson still on his feet, puts his head down, gets into the 53 of Ottawa.
Well, they just go to the well once too often here. Tony Gabriel, who has 7 receptions, most of them working against Doug Carlson. That ball really didn't have much on it. Clemens wasn't really in a good position to throw the football, and he kind of lofted in the air. Good catch by number 28, Carlson, who's man-to-man coverage on Tony Gabriel once again. And the BC Lions had their second interception in 2 possessions of the Riders.
Gary Keithley stays in at quarterback. Double fullback situation. Handoff to Larry Key. Key gets outside. He'll have a first down if he gets inside the 45, right down to the 43-yard line. And that will be close to a first down.
How they love little Larry Key, the rookie from Florida State. The BC Lions, just under 21,000 fans here at Empire Stadium. And their ball club is enjoying a very slim, and I can't really say well-deserved, 1-point lead at the moment. The Riders have outplayed them. They trail by 1. The Gabe has 7 receptions on the day, 89 games in a row with receptions for the Gabe.
Sideline officials bring out the chains. That shot shows you what separates the BC Lions from a first down. A matter of inches. And at this time, I'd like to remind you that new Canada Savings bonds offer safety, instant cash, and a good return, so buy yours today.
That's right, Peter. They just increased the interest compounded on the CSBs to 9 1/4 last week. I bet you didn't know that.
One thing that I didn't really realize, Frank. But I do realize that you and I catch an early plane because it's Regina tomorrow. And the Saskatchewan Roughriders against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in a game that will be shown in the West on CTV. And it would take a Calgary loss plus this BC win tonight should they be fortunate enough to beat the best team in the East right now to keep their hopes alive. That pass is intended for Terry Bailey, went right through his hands, and he was pranked by Larry Brune from behind. 1 minute, 29 seconds remaining. Crazy George.
He's really incredible, Peter. He gets both sides of the stands going. As you can see, he works hard at it. Great story about Crazy George. He's actually a former school teacher from San Diego. Now he makes his living doing just exactly that for professional teams in football, hockey, and soccer.
There's a holding call. Ball is batted up and it's grabbed by Al Sharuk, but
I think the holding call will be John Blaine, number 68. Mike Raines he's playing against. Take a look at him. John is a great big rookie at 6'6", 265, and it looks to me like he was the one that was holding. See, number 68
got him by the shirt,
bringing Raines right down. Not actually that cool, John.
There's a way to hold and a way to hold, and that one was certainly not the way to hold.
I don't know anything about that, Peter. In my
Holding
day, nobody.
BC, down repeated.
I could never get close enough to the big guns to hold them. Gary Keithley is yet to complete a pass in this football game since he's come in. Here's Al Sharuk, who is yet to catch one.
He caught one here, but doesn't count, Al. It will be 2nd down and 20 for the BC Lions. Ball at the 50 of Ottawa. Keithley with all day to throw the ball. Now he's in trouble. Now he gets it back. Over to Larry Key. Key gets back to the original line of scrimmage, stays on his feet, and fights close to a first down. Good effort.
Well, I don't know if we lost Al McCann down at field level, but Al, it sounds like the fans are certainly roaring here in Empire Stadium. The insertion of Gary Keithley's got the Lions with a little spark.
Well, I'll tell you, they're noisy down here. They're fired up. It's a good football game. The Ottawa Roughriders, I'm surprised they're really concerned, too. They'd like to beat this team. They haven't beaten BC in years.
All right, Al, well, we're going to keep you awake from time to time down there.
By the way, the weather's beautiful now, you know. After Winnipeg last week, of course, anything feels warm.
We wondered why you took off your coat and rolled your sleeves up down there, Al. It's getting a bit ridiculous, though.
If Crazy George can hack it, so can I, guys.
That's our own Crazy Al, folks.
field goal attempt with Jerry Taggy holding will come from the 40-yard line. And it's good. With 11 seconds remaining in the third quarter, the BC Lions increase their lead to 4 points. Ottawa will decide to take a chance on a kick return rather than scrimmaging the ball from the 35-yard line. So that brings on the kick team of the Lions and the kick return team of the Rough Riders, which means 22 Mike Nelms and number 20 Art Green back deep. And they're kicking, of course, from the 35 to Sagley because of the field goal. That means the deep receivers also move up about 10. Kick by Lou Pasaglia is a good one. Drives Art Green back to his 8. And Green gets up to the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. Goltz, number 63, is there to put the stop on him, along with Beaton, number 10. 67-yard kick, 30 on the return, and Green is injured. This ball game has been amazingly free of injuries so far. You see Tom Schultz almost getting a shot at Green right there, and Hinton finally getting the first piece. Looks like a right leg, that right calf, possibly a cramp that Green suffered, and returning that kickoff by Lou Pasaglia. Ottawa will scrimmage the ball at their own 37-yard line. We have just 4 seconds remaining in the third quarter. It's a 14-10 ball game. The West Coast Lions are leading at the moment. There's the statistic over the years, the interlocking play between these two ball clubs. Art Green is leaving the field under his own power and will likely be right back in the ball game. Don't forget, Skate Canada from here in Vancouver, the ladies' free finals, 10 to 11:30 on Saturday, October the 28th. Oh, they lined up everybody on the right side there, Peter. Clemens, dangerously close to the line of scrimmage, throws to Jeff Avery, and Avery has the reception and a first down. That should be the final play of the third quarter, and is. So the score at the end of 3, the BC Lions 14, the Ottawa Rough Riders 10. This is the CFL on CTV. We'll have fourth quarter action in a moment.
Investigating thermal coal reserves, untouched for many years. We're looking at new ways to economically recover oil previously lost from existing wells. Although it's only one of our activities at Canadian Pacific, development of unused energy resources in oil, natural gas, and thermal coal takes a lot of our energies these days. At Canadian Pacific, we believe what we do is important to you.
John Labatt's new Extra Stock. Premium quality brew. Something extra to commemorate our 150th anniversary. Extra Stock has extra flavor, extra smoothness, extra taste satisfaction. It's mellow to the taste and smooth going down. John Labatt's new Extra Stock. Premium quality brew. Something extra for our friends from Labatt's.
Art Green, he's trying to work out a cramp that he picked up in his upper leg, and he'll be back. I was just talking to him moments ago, and he said it's just a small cramp, and he'll be able to shake it loose.
Thank you, Al. First play of the fourth quarter. Little spin around pass to Holmes, and he gets to center field, a gain of 2.
I'll tell you, Peter, the guy that came in to replace Peter Stenerson has come in to replace him, Art Green, and watch the block that he gets on this play. If we can start it up right here, stop it right there, you'll see him coming in from the top part of your screen, and watch the shot he gets on BC Lion linebacker on that side. Good hit above the waist, too. Very legal. There's the pass, and it is complete.
to Peter Stenerson, and Joe Forqueen is shaken up on that play.
Joe Forqueen looks like he hurt his shoulder or something making this tackle after Stenerson makes his reception here. He's making quite a contribution since he's come in on offense. Forqueen is down and obviously in an awful lot of pain. A 19-yard pickup. Peter Stenerson.
Bill Reichelt, the trainer of the Lions, out there trying to assist.
Might be his shoulder or his side, Peter. He kind of hit Crepin, almost mishit him there at the side. Turned out to be almost a cross-body block, and he might have caught Stenerson's left leg in the side or shoulder. That appears to be his arm. And Joe had quite a serious neck injury last year, and it almost terminated his football career. He thought long and hard in the off-season about passing the game up for good.
They've already got one man out of their secondary, Devin Ford, who went out with a leg injury early in the ballgame. Forqueen goes out. We don't know if he'll be back.
That'll mean John Beaton, number 10, will be in there along with Doug Carlson as we look at the third quarter stats, and you see the complete domination of this football game in terms of total yardage, over double by the Ottawa Rough Riders, as are the first downs, and Tom Clements continues to be hugely successful in the air. 21 of 33 for 301 yards.
First down for Ottawa. Ball is at the 36-yard line of BC. The Lions lead by 4. Clements has time, runs out of it, now gets out of the pocket. A flag is down. That is Tony Gabriel, and he is down to the 11-yard line, but there is a flag down.
Well, if you ever need proof of the ability of a quarterback to scramble, here it is. Clements just does a great job of getting away from potential tacklers of the Lions. Doug Seymour, number 61, he slips inside of him. Fine throw as well to Tony Gabriel. The penalty is going to be assessed against the BC Lions. Let's hear what it was.
Offside. BC. Decline.
Well, you heard it, obviously. Dale declined it. It puts the Ottawa Rough Riders in excellent scoring position at the BC 11-yard line. They trail in this ball game by 4 points.
Check those stats on Tony Gabriel. 8 receptions, 96 yards.
He is now only 2 receptions behind Joe Poplawski as far as overall leadership in pass receptions in the CFL. Pitch out. Holmes, number 28, and he will get down to about the 4-yard line. They've really juggled back there now, that secondary, because of the injury to Joe Forqueen. Beaton is now in at left side halfback. Carlson at right side halfback, and Frank Oliver switched from his left spot to the corner on the other side. 2/5 of the secondary gone. There's Holmes. He goes for the end zone and 6 points.
Boy, just an excellent block, and I didn't pick up who it was, but it was Grady Katniss, number 32, the safety, who comes up and tries to fill the hole, was just destroyed right at the line of scrimmage. See him right there. Maybe even get a better shot of it from our end zone camera. Number 32, Grady Katniss, on the lower right part of your screen in just a moment. Right there. Opens up the hole, and the rest is up to Holmes. He puts it in the end zone, and despite 2 interceptions in this second half on Tom Clements, the Ottawa Rough Riders have moved in front of the BC Lions 17-14. That's the score, and this is the CFL on CTV. We'll continue in just a moment.
Skiing across the summer green, twist and turn, go in between. Flying free across the grass, you love the fun, you love it fast. You know what you could do. Come on and share a smile or two. It's a new way of doing what you like to do. So take a ride and share a smile or two. Flying free across the grass, You love the fun, you want to make it last. You know what you could do. Come on and share a smile or two. 'Cause when you're smiling, keep on smiling. Blue smiles along with you. Smiling along with you. Smiles with you. Smiling along with you.
Well, the BC Lions not only were scored upon, but they have more bad news. Joe Queen has a suspected separated shoulder. He's being worked on now, and they're worried. He landed on the point of his right shoulder, and they think it might be slightly separated. The doctor hasn't made a decision as yet, but that was the comment of Bill Rochelle, the trainer.
That's Leon Pride, and he gives the Lions respectable field position as they get down to the 34-yard line. A 20-yard return of a 42-yard kickoff by J.T. Hay. Bright, coming off the injury, really hasn't figured in the offense that much of the Lions today.
Matter of fact, Peters only caught one pass for 8 yards, and you see the drive by the Ottawa Rough Riders. They've had a number of drives, but they finally capped that one off with a major score.
17-14 is the score. Ottawa's in front. Ty doesn't help BC. That's Larry Key, and he breaks away for 6, maybe 7 yards.
Boy, John Blake, number 68, the right offensive guard, really gets a shot as he pulls around to the left side. Leonhardt also pulls to the left side, but watch the hit on Peter Krepp, number 10. Stop it right there. You can see it being lined up. There's Blake coming, and watch what happens. When you're off balance, it always makes it look better. That's about as good a hit as you're going to see.
There's the handoff to Key, and he squirms up to the 45-yard line. Depending on where they mark it, it will be either a first down or within inches. They're calling for the sticks. Crowd reacts because of the placement of the ball. Reminder that next weekend, watch Peter Krepp, number 10. And you'll see that he's right back into the picture on this one, too.
Almost had a face masking call against him right there, and it does look like that they may have marked that ball back a little further than Key had advanced. So you can see Larry Key has now picked up 57 yards, so he's over 900 for the season. What a rookie year.
Well, they're that far away from the first down, you can bet that they'll just plow straight ahead, try to pick up the first. Mind you, now that I've said that, they'll probably throw the bomb.
No, I think Keith is going to sneak it.
11 minutes, 41 seconds remaining. Fourth quarter, Ottawa 17, BC 14. The Calgary Stampeders, although it's very late, will be up in Hamilton watching this ball game, knowing that an Ottawa victory would assure them of at least third place, knowing they could still catch Winnipeg for second. On third down, it is going to be close.
Keithley took quite a hit on his right side and went down very quickly. It depends where they mark this football. We may have a turnover here. It's going to be extremely close. The referee Bud Ulrich making sure that that ball is marked properly, and he's holding it there so it won't be moved by anybody. We're not going to see it, but we'll get from the crowd reaction. Obviously, this is first down. Not by much. Now, don't tell me, Peter, it's a game of inches.
I was going to say that, but I fought myself and held back.
It's a game of 110-yard field. That's the one thing that's kept the BC Lions really in this ball game. 3 interceptions against Tom Clements, Doug Carlson, Frank Oliver, and Grady Cavness.
Larry Key tries one way, goes back the other. He has the first down, gets outside, is pushed out of bounds. Leon Bright was leading the interference for him.
He can break a ball game up. Larry Key.
17-yard return. Widger, number 34, Carr, 42. Have a look at them on.
I'll tell you, that's a good block by Al Wilson on Mike Widger. Widger showed that he's just a little bit slow reading those keys. His second football game he's played at that middle linebacking spot. As you heard Al McCann interview him at the end of the first half, that's the second game since he's been in high school that he's ever played that position.
Tim Berryman, of course, has played very well there. Not many teams have the Canadian in the middle. That's John Henry White, number 20, going around the right side. Upcoming games on CTV tomorrow, of course, in the West. It's Winnipeg at Saskatchewan. Then on Saturday, October 28th, Hamilton at Ottawa, full network telecast. Big game for the Tiger Cats. On the 29th, it will be Saskatchewan at Edmonton, a full network game. Then on November 4th, Ottawa's in Montreal. We're back here for Edmonton, Vancouver. Both of those are regional games. This is John Henry White, number 20, cuts up and has some room. And White gets all the way in to the 27-yard line.
I'll tell you, one of the fellows who makes so many tackles in that defensive backfield, Ken Downing. Watch Al Wilson. Downing comes on a blitz here, number 19, in offensive center. Al Wilson picks him up right there. One less fellow in that defensive backfield, and it sure shows when John Henry White turns the corner. Gets by Carr. Bruin finally making the stop, number 21, but not before he picks up a first down at the Ottawa Rough Rider 27-yard line. And this is the best Lion drive we've had in quite a while.
Keithley moving the Lions now. Ball is down at the 28. Hand off to Larry Key. Good play by Brad Carr, but now Key's going back the other way. Has he got room? Even the quarterback goes downfield for him, but Larry Bruin makes a great play.
Oh, I'll tell you, Larry Bruin just came up with an outstanding play. Larry Key just stopped Cole going to the left side, but still somehow retains his balance. The original shot by Carr, and Tosh got a piece of him. One of the most exciting runs we're going to see for minus 1 yard.
And I'll tell you, if Keithley was able to make the hit on Bruin there, Key might have had 6.
Keithley doesn't practice that very often, Pete.
It'll be second down and 11 for the Lions. They send Leon Bright and Ricky Ellis wide left. Jimmy Young in the slot right. Here comes Carr on the blitz. Pass is complete and dropped by Ellis. Ricky Ellis had the ball and then dropped it.
I don't know if you were watching a quarterback or you saw Carr come in there, but watch the damage he does to Larry Key. We started up right now. You see Carr coming in from the left side. Stop it right there. Here's Carr. Larry Key comes back and tries to pick him up. Carr just bowls a little back right over and gets a piece of Keithley.
That ball was tipped and might have hurt the concentration of Ellis.
Looks like Ken Downing, number 19, is the one that tipped the ball.
And the field goal attempt from the 36-yard line. Kick is up. Kick is good. So the score was 7 minutes, 53 seconds remaining. BC 17, Ottawa 17. The CFL on CTV continues in a moment.
When you're smiling, keep on smiling. Blue smiles along with you.
Peter Young, Frank Rigney, Al McCann. We hope that you're enjoying tonight's telecast. Brad Carr talking to Anderson, 65 and 42. They know that they have people watching back in Ottawa very interested, and although it's very late out there in the east, we hope you'll stay with us. Exciting ball game, 17-17. That's Holmes, number 28, and he'll only have about 2 yards over right guard.
That Lion defense looks like they're really fired up now after that offensive drive that resulted in Lucas Saglia tying this ball game up. I don't believe that Gabriel is trying to block on Lou Richardson, a pair of 77s, and he gets a little lost in the crowd.
Pardon the interruption, Frank, but I was going to say Joe Forqueen is back in the lineup. That's hard to believe. Look at that yardage by Tom Clements. 345 through the air. He has men in motion both sides. Clements, little flare pass to number 30, Mike Murphy, and Murphy's across the 40, and he'll be short by 4.
Good play by Glenn Jackson, turning him to the inside. He also makes a stop, but even if he doesn't, he turned Murphy back to the inside where he's got some help. They'll be 3 or 4 yards short of that first down marker, so the Lions, with 6:44 remaining, will take over the football. And obviously, for any sort of playoff hopes, a tie is no good for the Lions in this ball game. Jim Coode, number 60, fifth-year veteran, right offensive tackle, is injured on the play.
Appears to be his right leg. We have 6 minutes, 44 seconds remaining, fourth quarter. 17-17 tie. And while
I didn't pick up how Coode was hurt on the play, but he's blocking on Lou Richardson right in the middle of your screen there, right in front of Tom Clements, and he goes down in front of Richardson. He's being helped off the field now. It would appear to be a right leg problem of some kind. Louis Richardson, the fellow he was playing against, has really had an outstanding rookie year as well. He was a teammate of Larry Key at Florida State, as was Leon Bright. And out here on the West Coast, that's called the Florida State Connection.
Leon Bright is one of those deep for the BC Lions, along with Ken Hinton. Leon's got trouble with his hamstring and his left leg, as they've got it taped up pretty well. Short kick. Hinton will take that in traffic and naturally draw a flag. John Anderson, I believe, was the closest man to him. Very close, in fact. Only a 29-yard punt, too. A lot of bodies in there close.
I think you're right, though. It was John Anderson, number 65, who was staring him in the face.
Don't hit them till you see the whites of their eyes. 6:25 remaining, fourth quarter. Lions bench anticipating good field position, hoping to get a point, hoping to win the ball game. Ottawa, of course, would like to win, but they already have first place cinched. They're certainly not going to just lay down, though. Jim Coode, they're checking over at the Ottawa bench. Keithley pitches. John Henry White cuts back against the flow. Now has some running room and very close to the 45-yard line for a pickup of 9 yards.
Very interesting play here. The Lions pulled the whole right side of their line. You see Blaine and Simpson, 68 and 66. Ricky Ellis, the tight end, also pulled. So John Henry White turns back and gets behind Simpson there for a moment. Finally turning it to the outside and picks up almost 10 yards. He's now had 4 receptions, but John Henry White starting to contribute a little bit on the ground, too. 4 carries, 20 yards now.
High formation backfield, 2nd and inches. Keithley goes straight ahead himself. So they have a first down, and they're also got the clock going on their side. 5 minutes, 15 seconds remaining. Well, I'm happy to report that Jim Coode, who injured his knee, apparently isn't too badly hurt. They feel that it's just a bruise, nothing torn. He's walking on the sidelines now, as you can see, and I think he'll get back into the game.
Well, that is good news for the Ottawa Rough Riders, because they didn't want to have to play Jeff Turcotte, number 67, who's normally the starting tackle on the other side. Got a shoulder problem.
That is Larry Key, who will have 5 more yards to add to the total of the BC Lions, which has now gone over the 100 yards for the night in rushing. Big John Blake leaves the huddle. Ricky Ellis, number 71, the smaller tight end, comes back in. Key is up to 78 yards on the night. This is 2nd and 6. Keithley, there's the blitz. They pick it up. Now Keithley's in trouble and goes down.
I tell you, they brought almost everybody. And you see Gary Sands' helmet because he really got wrapped. Couldn't find a receiver. In this situation, you really have to find him quick. You saw John Henry White picking up Brad Carr there, the linebacker, but Carr finally does make the sack on the play. We have an injured Ottawa Rough Rider again, and it is Carr that's down. That is really a big play as far as the Lions are concerned because it moves them back out of Lou Pasaglia's field goal range, which they desperately need with 4:12 remaining in this tied ball game.
Well, there's football out here in Vancouver tonight, but coming up in Vancouver, very important for CTV, Skate Canada 78. Highlights of all the events on Sunday, October the 29th, 9 to 10. That is Pacific time. Also on that date, we'll be in the Commonwealth Stadium to do the Saskatchewan Roughriders against the Edmonton Eskimos. Will it be the last game for Ron Lancaster? Lou Pasaglia, 17 all-time. Low snap. Pasaglia gets a fair kick away. Comes down to Nelms, 22. He is popped out of bounds. Right at the 15-yard line. Frank Oliver, number 17, is there to push him out of bounds. And let's see if Ottawa can go down the field. A tie doesn't help BC as far as playoff hopes are concerned. 35-yard punt there by Pasaglia, not one of his better efforts. 5-yard return. It'll be up to the BC defense. We mentioned a low snap. Watch the bounce. Bucky Dent.
He's a good athlete, though. Didn't have any problem at all filling it.
Might have set his timing
a bit. You're right.
That's Mike Murphy. He just bowls people over and has about 7 yards. Out to the 23-yard line.
Watch the job that Charlie Brandon, the left tackle, does on middle linebacker Sam Britz. As a matter of fact, 2 or 3 people get a piece of Britz, number 45, but it's Brandon, number 61, who really puts him on his back.
And Doug Carlson, 28. The replacement for Devin Ford is in there to make the hit. Big play, second down, 3. A lot of motion. Pitch out. Right into the hands of 28 Richard Holmes. The Lions are there. The score, 17-17, and the CFL on CTV continues in a moment.
Grady Cavness comes up with a big defensive play for the Lions on second down as Holmes takes a quick pitch, and Cavness is there almost before the ball. Ottawa will have to kick it away.
BC should get good field position if they don't fumble. Good kick. High. Comes down to Hinton at the 50. Gets inside. Runs into traffic. Goes down across midfield. So the Lions get the last gasp. 2 minutes, 38 seconds before the end of the ball game. 53 yards separates them from the Ottawa goal line, which they must carry the ball over or kick it over.
There's some for a point discussion going on. Peter, Grady Cavness, the captain of the Lions, is out talking to the officials who are now holding a bit of a conference on the playing field. I don't know. It's a flag down. What the penalty was. Not talking to either one of the captains. They're having a conversation among themselves, and a very, very important point in the football game as far as the Lions are concerned, a point in the season as to how this penalty may come out.
Well, the Ottawa defensive unit is staying out, and Kunik is staying out, so they aren't going to kick again. Could have been a clip. Let's wait and hear from Bud Ulrich, number 50. He's coming over to talk to somebody now.
I have no idea what this confusion is
Back
all
to
about.
the scorecard.
I think maybe we're checking the clock now. That's the timekeeper.
Couple players thrown out of the ball game for rough play. Goal 63.
Don
Smith. 64. Don Smith hasn't played that much. Now he gets himself thrown out. Number 64. There he is. Of Ottawa.
I didn't even see that confrontation.
63. Goltz of BC. They exchanged something that got him thrown out.
Well, it's not any penalties in any respect, and the Lions will take over the football at Ottawa's 53-yard line. They've got to get at least 1 or 2 first downs to get into inside Lou Pasaglia's field goal range. 2:38 remaining.
But he could punt it in for the single point also, Frank, and you can bet that they'll have Kunik in the end zone to kick it right back out if that's what happens. Could be an exciting finish. First down at the 53. Jerry Taggy back in the ballgame. Hands to Larry Key. Key gets outside. Good effort for the first down.
Boy, good call, Peter. That was just a super effort. Larry Brune just manages to stop Key as he takes the ball on his draw. Wide open hole. Good block by Al Wilson on Widger, the middle linebacker. Just gets a piece of him, but Key stumbles forward for another 4 yards to pick up a first down at the Ryder 41-yard line. Now we've got coaching signals coming from the Ottawa bench for the defensive unit.
First down for BC. Taggy stays in. Long count, hands off to Larry Key, the other side. Here we go. Good hit. Key stays up. He'll have 7, maybe 8 yards. Larry Brune, number 21, really stood him up.
Well, he stopped him in his tracks, Peter, but once again, Key recovered. Watch the hit that Brune, 21, puts on Key. Really jarred him loose, but he's a real scrapper. He's now getting close to that 100-yard mark for the ball game tonight, and it looks pretty certain that if Larry Key stays healthy in the last couple ball games, he's going to easily go over 1,000 yards. He only needs another 50 yards or so.
47 to be exact. He has 97 in this ball game, 953 total. He'll join Mike Strickland in that category if and when he gets there. There's Key again. He won't have many there, but he might have enough for a first down.
I like him. Runs hard.
And hangs on to the football. That's the first down for the Lions with the
cheering here in
to go.
Empire Stadium. It's for the return of Jerry Taggy into the quarterbacking spot for the Lions, and a bit of a surprise. Gary Keithley's actually moved the ball club fairly well, but Coach Vic Rapp wants his veteran Taggy into the ball game in this critical situation.
Keithley, of course, was shaken up in the last sequence, and that might have been the reason. That's John Henry White, and he's just tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Number 53, Brian Hedges, gets him just and looked like he might bust it up the middle for a few. He does get 4. Making it 2nd and 6. White has added 24 yards to the rushing attack of the Lions. Well, this is a big play because if they don't get the first down, it's guaranteed Pasaglia will try to kick it through the end zone for the single point. Taggy would have said, don't drop the ball, fellas, whatever you do. And off is to Key. Who else? And they have him. Hedges again, number 53, with help from Glassford. That'll be close to the line of scrimmage. And here comes Lou.
That is not booing that you hear here at Empire Stadium. It's Lou. He's coming in with a kicking tee, so obviously the Lions are going to go to a field goal. I think that's why they ran that play, to get the ball over into the middle of the field, or as close as they can. They've got it in a perfect spot for Lou Pasaglia. The kick attempt should come from about the 34, 33-yard line, well within Pasaglia's range, obviously, and the big thing is he gets the distance. Even if he does miss it, a single point would put them ahead.
Well, it could be the whole season, depending on this one right here. You can see the kicking tee. That's where Taggy will place the ball. Pasaglia hits it. It is good. And the Lions go ahead.
Only 52 seconds remaining in this ball game, and Lou is the cry here at Empire Stadium.
There's the minute flag, and there's a pretty happy BC Lions bench. They aren't really celebrating because they know it's still a long shot for them to make the playoffs.
Well,
Calgary would have to lose.
They're doing what they have to do,
That's
though,
right.
Peter, and that's win the ball games, and that's all they can do at this point. And I'm sure that Vic Rapp is more concerned with that than he can be with what happens to Calgary.
It's not over yet. Tom Clements.
Oh, he can move.
Now he decides to keep the ball. He'll go out of bounds. And will go out of bounds very close to the first down with 43 seconds remaining. Let's not forget that if they get in field goal range, J.T. Hay could be the one that decides this one. Hay's longest of the year is from 48, so they have to get to the 40 at least for him to have a good shot at it.
Clemens very wisely stepping out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
Well, a good team like Ottawa won't give up. Here's Frank Landy, and that's an incomplete forward pass. Landy really put pressure on.
Art Green tripped over one of his offensive linemen. I believe it was Frank Palmerico, number 56, a right offensive guard. I think that's why he dropped the football. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Ottawa now. 39 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Ball's at the 45 of Ottawa. 2nd down and 10. Clements safety valve. Mike Murphy. First down out of bounds at the 51-yard line. Fort Queen is down again. That same shoulder, but he shakes it off and comes back in.
Boy, I didn't think he was going to get up the way he went down there. Murphy very wisely was stepping out of bounds, and Fort Queen just got a piece of him. 11-yard pickup, so it's another first down. They've now moved inside BC Lion territory.
This crowd that was whooping it up 20 seconds ago on the score clock, very apprehensive right now. Tom Clemens, who's had a brilliant game at quarterback, gets pressure again, dumps it off. Oh, big hit.
Play by Doug Seymour, number 61. Seymour almost seems to be laying for this screen pass to the outside. You see him there on that right defensive end spot. He reads screen almost immediately as Richard Holmes just slipped to the outside, and a big defensive play by Seymour. They need another one.
Flag goes down. Glenn Leonhardt, who's in there on the defensive line after the ejection of Rick Golt, seems to think it's against Ottawa.
Motion call against the Riders. I think it'll obviously
They'll
decline because it'll create a 3rd down and about 20 yards, 18 yards. You see the scoreboard here with 22 seconds remaining. And this is it for the Ottawa Rough Riders. They've got to pick up a first down here.
George Brancato looks on from the sideline, knowing that he's going to go, hoping that Tom Clemens can come up with the play that'll bring them 20 yards, which is what they need for a first down exactly.
I think they might be looking for Gabriel once again.
I think Freddie Fleming will be.
He's caught 8 for 96 yards in this ball game.
Gets the drop, fires a wobbler up the middle. Fort Queen knocks it down.
So reminiscent of the Western semifinal game in 1977, where Joe Fort Queen went up to bat down a Winnipeg attempted long pass in the dying moments of the ball game, and Joe's the man on the spot once again. The Lions are going to go away from the ballpark tonight with their 2nd straight victory over a first-place ball club. They, of course, beat the Edmonton Eskimos in Commonwealth Stadium last week, a game that you saw on the CTV network, and now they've beaten the Eastern champions, the Ottawa Rough Riders, 17 for Ottawa, 20 for the Lions.
Jerry Taggy steps down and takes the 2-yard loss. Very happy to do so. He'll also let the clock run out on this next play and do the same thing. And a very joyous BC Lion bench. Whooping it up. They turn around. What a game for that number 11, Larry Key. The time has expired. Taggy will bend down. There's no hitting that goes on there. The gun goes. And the score, the final score, the BC Lions 20. The Ottawa Rough Riders 17. This is the CFL on CTV. We'll return with our summary in a moment. Well, what a happy band of BC Lions. They kept their playoff hopes alive. And on either side of me, two running backs who both had great games. On my left, Larry Key, who had 101 yards. And on my right, of course, Larry Key, John Henry White, who had a super game, too. John Henry, you guys are both running very well tonight.
No, our offensive line will do a tremendous job of blocking. You know, the hole was there. We just ran. That's all.
That was a key game. You knew you had to win it.
Right. We did it.
I'll tell you, Larry, another super game for you. Let's see. You're up around 950-something yards now. The thousands a cinch now.
Yeah, it is. Like John Henry said, the offensive line blocked well tonight, and the holes were there, and we ran. And I just like to give a lot of thanks to Coach Rapp. You know, he stuck with us, and he had confidence in us, and he knew that we can do it. You know, we just put our mind to it. You know, and I just like to I'm just real happy.
Let Louis Richards in here, Larry. Thank you. Good game. Louis, come on in here. Speak for the defense. I thought you guys played exceedingly well. You had great pressure.
Well, we worked on it all week. We knew they'd run a lot of different stuff, and then we knew both quarterbacks had the ability to scramble, so it's really slowed our rush up a lot. But we put it together tonight. I think it's been a while coming.
Joe Queen hurt his shoulder. They thought it might be separated. He comes back in and makes that big play.
Yeah, he's tough. He's really tough. He can play with pain, I think.
Well, I'll tell you, you kept the flickering candle alive, Louis. You never do know, do you?
No, you don't.
You know, if you can put two more wins together, who knows, you might be in the playoffs.
I hope so.
Louis, good game. Congratulations. Let's call the coach in. Vic Rapp here. Vic, congratulations. I know how much you wanted to win the football game. You've been kind of underplaying your playoff chances, but it does great things for your team's pride.
Well, it does. I thought we came out a little bit flat in the first half, Val. It concerned me a little bit. The second half, we came on and played better. I've been saying all year, I think we got a better football team than our record indicates, and you know, it's hard to make anybody believe that when you're not winning, but I felt like again tonight we made some plays when we had to.
You know, with your defensive team, Vic, it looked to me like it was the old case. They bent a little, but they didn't break. Ottawa ran up a lot of statistics, but not very many points.
They did bend a lot, that's for sure, and they controlled the ball on us much too much in the first half. We probably should have run the football a little more than we did offensively. We leaned maybe a little too much to the pass until we got in an area where we wanted to run and needed to run. And maybe we should have run a little more earlier because Larry was moving well tonight, as was John.
Yeah, they both ran very well. You know, your defensive team came up with very critical interceptions.
They did. They came up with big plays, 2 in the end zone, which kills scoring drives. And of course, that's really the difference in the ball game.
Golly, I thought you'd lost Joe Queen to a shoulder injury. He comes back and makes that key play.
Did a good job. He does have a slight separation, but he's a tough guy for us.
Tell me now, Vic, I guess you have to do the old cliche, a game at a time now. Right now, you have to sit back and say, okay, Hamilton, do your thing, eh?
Yeah, well, you know, we want to make the playoffs. That's the reason everybody plays. But I think we're playing a little more than playoffs now because I think our guys, some of them got to do personal things that they have to prove because we haven't exactly burned the world up this year, you know. And I think it's down to a point where playoffs or not, they're going to play tough for personal pride. I really feel that way.
Do you think there's an advantage playing a team that had first place locked up? Do you think they didn't seem to let up a lot? They wanted to win. They haven't beaten you guys in years.
Well,